will buy you lunch.
Whoa.
Oh.
Wow.
Not from Popeyes.
And not, well, yeah, because I don't want you to die before you get it.
So I will
Sad.
I will
age.
say this. I have been getting better about the contextual drops, but there's a bunch of names of sports people that I don't know. So then you guys would like,
Well,
why didn't you play this drop? It's like, because I didn't know it existed.
Graceful.
I don't know
I'll
who
be
this
graceful.
person is.
I will forgive you if there's one that drops in and it just doesn't make a lot of sense, and Josh and I can explain why it doesn't make sense. So
Me plus you equals nighttime fun.
There you go. This is great.
I did just put one in for you today, Josh.
What's that? What did
I
I
need
say?
to remember where I put
Hey,
it.
do you have the what's going on with the colors here? You just like the pretty colors?
It helps me keep it organized, because when all
But it's not organized at all. They're just in checkerboard format.
I don't know why my brain works the way it works.
But are they
That's good.
organized?
They're not.
It's not organized based off of how it sounds. It's just the color organized.
as long as it's organized in your head.
On my
because you're
main
the
wall
one
too, I have it
pushing
like this too,
Yeah.
right? Because like over here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Listen,
Thursday.
I never understood Stibbs'
Before that I
organizational
use
methods. I never understood
all the
Josh's
opens.
organizational methods. We all have our own organizational methods.
That's true.
You do you.
Some
as
are just
long
more
as you
obvious
can find it.
than others.
We report, you decide.
Yep. All right. So there's your challenge today.
Proud of you, Nick.
I want
did I put
Shane
that?
volume.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is.
Context.
Here you go, Josh.
Finger licking good.
Nice. Michael Irvin, former Dallas Cowboy.
I went out of my
People
way to
forget
find a better quality version of that, because the one we played was a video taking off of a
Yeah, it
TV.
was a video off of video.
Nice.
Love when those happen.
But it was the
Where's
best
my
we-
wood?
it was
Nice.
the best we had at the time.
Oh, Brookside Medical, John.
Yes.
Mhm.
671-7777.
You talked about the Farron stuff today. Do you have the audio
I do.
Of the original thing, though?
On Saturday?
Yes.
The question.
Do you mind
Yeah.
sending that to us? This is a
Or-
fascinating conversation.
It's on our wall right
Okay.
now. Yeah.
Josh,
Oh,
Josh,
actually, Josh never put it on the wall. He just played it from here. But I'll
Okay.
send it to you.
Okay. Yeah. Because we were talking about it off the air. John and I were now. I love how much anger there is on that side of the river. It's so fun.
The line of questioning was
I'm guessing it was pretty normal.
not normal.
Oh,
It was not normal.
interesting.
It was a bit adversarial.
Okay,
Okay.
good. I
It-
like this.
It was a bit adversarial.
Okay.
I didn't think that it was that over the top. But,
Okay.
the guy who asked the question. I'm sure you've
Doug
Doug
Lamery,
Lamery,
we've had him
yeah.
on the program.
What's the
Doug
most-
is great, by the way.
So let's compare it to what's the most adversarial Nebraska media moment, let's just say, since Bill Callahan,
Oh man.
or since you've been covering
well,
the
since
team.
Bill Callahan, it's definitely
Is it
Bo
Dirk?
versus Dirk.
Bo versus Dirk is the thing that
It
comes
had
to
to
my
be,
mind.
yeah.
Okay. What's,
because
Although
even
I don't
though
think I was
Bo-
ever there for those moments.
even though Bo
neither
dropped the BS after the Iowa game, that wasn't so much adversarial towards another reporter.
it
That
was
was
towards
just
Sean Eichhorst.
that was just a general consensus.
okay. So if that's a 10, what was Doug Lamery?
Seven.
Okay.
Somewhere in that range.
Okay.
pretty good.
So probably Bo versus Dirk.
So there was
a
a moment
different
you'll,
time.
you'll hear it on the audio. I'll send it to you.
Yes,
but
I
he
can't wait.
he he goes. Doug says, "You guys have one of the worst offenses in the nation," or something like that. And Kurt goes, "I know that," or something. I can see that. And Doug responds again by saying, "Everyone can see that."
Ooh.
Okay, yeah, that's
and then he
pretty
and then he
adversarial.
goes on and asks the question. But that was the moment. That
That's
was
pretty funny.
Sort of, yeah. That was kind of adversarial. And then Kirk said that he was, what was the word that he used yesterday? Like attacked or
Yeah.
I can't remember what the actual
Interrogated.
Interrogated. That's it.
Interrogated.
Interrogated.
This is not good.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. That's what he was saying.
Okay,
Okay, that's a good start.
it's a good start. It works.
But yeah, and then he had the whole thing about, well, I'm just glad I'm not that guy.
Amazing Daniel
I'm glad
says,
I'm not that guy.
where
Well,
would you-
yeah, I mean, I'm sure Doug would love to be Kirk Ferentz.
salary wise,
Kind of suck at my job right
That's
now.
basically what I make
hire
more
my
money than
kids
you.
and make a hell of a lot
And
of
there's
money.
no consequences for my actions. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's a dream. Amazing Daniel says, where would you rank the moment when that reporter asked Mike Riley if he thought Frost was going to be the next coach or whatever that was? What is that? What was that?
Okay, so
Or is he talking about the time the kid reporter asked him?
Yeah, I think
what
that's
was
what he's talking
What
about.
was the
so
question?
it was Riley's
Last-
after he got fired
Yeah,
press conference.
Yeah.
And the question was basically, how does it feel to be fired?
That's what it was.
Yeah, like
How does it feel to be fired?
but that's not like I
Yikes.
always sort of defend the kid on that one because I don't think that's exactly what he was going for. I think there was
Right.
like
it was the tone.
there was like a preamble of like you've been in coaching for a really, really long time, and at this
Yeah.
very moment, you're not in coaching. You know,
People forget.
Yeah, I mean, that was just more of an awkward moment than it was a confrontational moment because, Mike Riley doesn't confront anything.
yeah, that one was just weird.
So, yeah, that was odd. Now,
There's definitely been some odd press
I
conference moments.
I
We
would
had
say
yesterday.
now in my lifetime,
Malachi.
the number one by far is Bernie Goldberg versus Tom Osborne.
What happened here?
This was after
1995.
Lawrence Phillips.
Oh,
And
I didn't know the name of the person. Yeah.
And Bernard Goldberg, who at that time was working for CBS News, came in, and it was you could tell something was going to happen.
Because there were a lot
Because-
of cameras, right?
Well,
Didn't they have two cameras? They had one on him and one on Tom.
yeah, it was you could tell it was just a big old production, right? So he had two camera people, he had the boom mic guy, and he had a lighting guy.
That is so funny.
And this was back when they used to do the press conferences in the old locker room in South. I always get my directions turned around there. South Stadium.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, and I always used to sit on the floor next to where you plug in your stuff. And all of a sudden, you get this booming voice. He kind of moves into the middle of where a lot of the TV cameras are. I mean, they made sure they had a guy set up there right away, and they had another guy shooting him from a different angle.
I love when they bring in the news people.
And he comes in and asks, so how would you react as a father if this guy that you allowed, haven't kicked off your team, or I don't remember how we framed it, but basically it was, how would you feel if that was your daughter who was drugged down the stairs and abused and beaten and blah, blah, blah. And Tom just kind of said, who are you? Where are you from? And, he said, Bernard Goldberg, CBS News. And
don't you see it on my
Tom,
flag?
Tom basically said, he gave a very short answer, but he
basically talk to me after the presser.
But he basically said, if you want to talk about this, that's fine. I don't know why you're here or what you're doing, but if you want to talk about this, we can do this away from here. And he ended the press conference.
The whole thing?
The whole thing. He ended it right there.
Dumbass, stupid.
He ended it right there.
And gets up, leaves the room. Goldberg and his posse, they leave, go out into the hallway. Everyone else is following, so the hallway is crowded.
Love that.
And then they continue the exchange. And Osborne basically says, listen, this is a football press conference. We're talking about football issues. I'm not sure what you want out of this, but if you wanted to arrange an interview or something, you needed to go through our people, blah, 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 and walked away.
Yeah.
But you could tell it was all for the big production of the gotcha moment.
Oh, yeah.
And
well, they do that from
all
time
that
to time where, something newsy has happened and they'll bring in the news people.
The big guns.
And they'll go and they'll ask one question.
I wish I still had the audio because the one with oh my God, Joe Jordan when he was at Channel 3 and Bill Callahan.
You talking about when he asked if he would fire himself?
If he would fire
Yeah,
himself.
Adam
that's
just
a
texted me about
classic
that.
one.
How about when the reporter asked Bill Callahan
Yeah.
if he would fire himself? I believe it was if you were the AD. See,
I wish
those
I had that.
pressers were hysterical. They were must watch.
Because Bill
throughout
was
the entire.
so not.
I was a freshman in college, and that was back when I think like Sean Callahan would upload. Sean Callahan, Oscar Online. I think he would upload them to the scrolls, like just the little MP3 audio.
Yeah.
If you couldn't watch it live, and Kevin and Michael, they would do shows, and those things were so funny. They were because he said that Tom Osborne was a word of his man instead of a man of his word.
He's a word of his man.
And so then when they had
Hey,
Schick
he's
on
one
to
of his
do
men.
Bill and Lincoln that week, he just started reversing everything. He was like loose ships sink lips and a bunch of things like that.
That's amazing.
It was so
I
funny.
love that.
He was like, he's a word of his man. His gold is as good as word. It was. It's my favorite Schick
They
interview
were
of all
turning
time.
around everything.
Based off of the stories you guys have told me and I've heard, I think Bill Callahan might be my favorite coach ever.
He was great because then there was one time.
Callahan
There was one
great.
time somebody at ESPN got tipped off wrongly that he was going to get fired because there was like this Bill Callahan press conference is about to air on ESPN News, and it's like, what does that matter? You know, they suck. And then he showed up one time, of course, in the beige, and that was a huge. Why isn't he wearing red? Why isn't Bill Callahan wearing red to the press conference?
He would do that stuff on purpose, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He
there
was
was
sending
one time
messages.
there was a rumor that he was fired, and he showed up like 15, 20 minutes late because everyone's like, oh my gosh.
I
He
love
actually
him.
got fired.
I love him so much.
Those were, I mean, I remember.
I mean, Frost was a pretty good troll too. He
He
wasn't.
wasn't bad, but Callahan was
yeah,
next
but
level.
Frost wasn't funny.
No.
Yeah,
Frost
Callahan
was-
very
Frost was
funny.
Yeah. Football. That's football. Thing.
Now I don't know. I'm trying to.
No, I'm not stepping down.
I wish I could just. We need a plug-in where I can just plug it right into my
I've always
computer
thought about that too. Yeah.
and play it straight off here because I do
Nielsen.
have a lot of stuff.
that technology absolutely.
That's how we did it at
exists.
KRNU in college. It was that.
Yeah.
You just hook it up on your laptop. Remember the first time I got here, I was like, oh, I'll record it off of YouTube. Do you have a plug? And they were like, just do it literally.
I'll just do the interpretation. That
Okay.
term resignation is not in my vocabulary. He actually
Classic.
said that. He actually said that.
I
coached in the Super Bowl.
I got
Anything
him.
in my
I
life.
actually asked the question that got him to say, I think I'm doing an excellent job in every respect.
That was great.
Because the question was something about, how would you grade yourself at this point?
How about after Joe
Wow,
Gans had the
gotcha
great
journalism.
It wasn't even attempted to be a gotcha. I just wanted to ask him a question.
How about when they beat Kansas State his last year, and Joe Gans has like an all-time game, and he talks about how it's a system. I have the system
quarterback.
So funny. Gosh, what
I
a
might-
guy.
I
What a
might-
character.
He's good
I
football
might
player.
have that one.
The Joe
The
Gans
Joey
one?
Gans.
This needs to probably be a summer topic.
Just bring
Where,
back
where,
Bill
we
Callahan
just, where
bites.
we just bring
Yes.
back, we just play the best of Bill Callahan. And
Oh, no. How
oh.
about this comment? Hooray for the winners. Wait, Schick was the fake Billy C?
Oh wow.
He was indeed. Now John's just listening to the Bill Callahan press conferences.
Concentrate at the task at hand, and that's Colorado. We're trying to do everything we possibly can to win this game. And
What is
we're
that?
just trying to stay tight-knit, kind of circle the wagons mentality, and just trying to really zero in on our preparation.
circle the wagons.
I found my favorite one.
I hope you can. get
I
that.
am distressed when people are
Oh,
shooting off
yes.
guns and throwing fruit at our players. I just have a hard time with that.
Classic.
See, and the story after that one was when I was still with the network and hosting the night show, and it was Bill's turn to be on the coach's show,
Hey.
and it was the week of the state championship games,
Oh, yeah. He
At
snuck
Memorial
up there,
State.
right?
and so the Class
Has
B
a
or
hat on.
C or whatever game was going on behind me because we used to do the show on the club level, and there was a separate room. A separate suite on the club level where we had our mini studio set up. And it's getting close to 7:00. I'm like, where's coach? Where's coach? Where's coach? Show comes on the air. The open is playing, and all of a sudden the door opens, and this guy comes in wearing just a generic non-logo jacket and a hat pulled way down over his eyes. And I'm about ready to. I thought it was
What's
maybe
up?
one of the fans
Nice,
from the
Nick.
club section. I was about to say, sir, we're going on the air with a radio show. This is a radio studio. And then he gets closer. He's like, oh, it's Bill. Wow. But he did because, he knew there was going to be people on
Oh,
that
yeah.
floor.
And they were going to
milling
have some
about.
comments for him. Hey, why don't you run the ball
And
a
that
bit
was right
more,
after-
Bill?
That was after the the Oklahoma game that
Oh.
year.
When they kicked a field goal.
When they
so
kicked
they wouldn't
the field
get
goal,
shut out.
so they would not
Beautiful
get
thing.
shut out.
Man.
Run the ball.
Run the ball, indeed.
Run the ball.
Yeah, unfortunately, when the computers got switched over a few years ago, some of these clips got
Imagine
erased.
how much Billy C and Pelini we have that are just gone
forever.
My favorite of the Bo Pelini press conferences it's a 2-week process. So before the Texas game, the Red Out Around the World game in 2010, he makes a quip to start it about how he's not very good in October, because that was a running theme. He had a horrible record in October for whatever reason, right? Because it was conference season, and so then they lose.
But that was only his third.
It was only his third year.
Yeah.
And so then they lose, of course. And then the press conference the following Monday, or maybe it was after the game, either way, I don't know who it was, but this reporter goes, I guess you're not very good in October, huh? And Bo's like, what? And then he repeats, he goes, you said it last week. And Bo goes, I was joking. And then he just stops it so fast. He was so mad. Don't make jokes.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Yep. And from that point forward, he never joked again.
Play the flickering one, Nick. That one's funny. Oh, you were just there. Well, now it's gone.
I mean, it's around.
No, yeah, there it is. There it is. Go down. Well, yeah, do that one.
It's flickering. Just got to stay on.
I don't know why his laugh always killed me.
I'm done with you. Let's get
This crossover's off the rails. John keeps playing.
I know.
I just playing stuff.
I just want to go back and listen. I just miss it so much. It's just so much fun. But
one time he was talking about.
Are you at the age now?
It must have been in media days, and he goes, "Scared the crap." This is Bo. Scared the crap out of me, and then he goes, "Ha ha." Ha 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 ha!
Yes,
I don't remember what it was. I used it as a drop forever. I never knew the context. He just kept getting louder.
That sounds like a
Such an
psycho.
awkward laugh.
Yeah, we have a lot of Bo laughs in there. Oh man,
Bo would be one of those guys if he was in a small comedy club, where it's a small intimate audience, and that one guy starts laughing. It might bring the whole act to a stop.
Yeah.
Just because,
Nick,
like everyone just stops.
Move the mouse down a little bit more to the "How about Stanley" one.
How about
right there?
Stanley.
That one, I love this one.
How about
The best part.
Oh, is that where that started?
That's where "How about" comes from.
That's right.
How
Okay.
about? And then somebody goes, Stanley.
Stanley.
And then what's crazy is
That was the audio tape game.
full circle.
That was the audio-
That's the Bo Pelini versus Dirk Chatelain game.
That's
Yep.
correct.
And that's how it
and
is.
the audio tape and
So think
everything
about
that
that
came out.
moment.
Yeah.
He's so happy. And
Yeah.
then he goes upstairs and he says,
10
F
seconds
Tom
later.
Chattel.
Yep.
Wow. What a time to be alive.
All those fans are gonna kiss my ass
Because the day is coming.
the day is coming.
I wish we had the other Callahan drops. I couldn't find any more other than the ones from earlier.
John, I still have I have the picture in my phone of when Bob Diaco was talking about the strain,
Oh,
and
my
you were
God.
like right in the background. I was
right
standing
there.
right there too. Just the most ridiculous.
You were there, and Sam was the one who was asking the questions, and Kevin Suits at Channel 10 was there, and it was just like the 4 or 5 of us. It wasn't
Yeah.
that many at the moment. And it's just like the strain. And my eyes were
We're like,
glazing
what's
over
going on?
as he's giving this answer. It's just like,
Was that the same one where he had like this? He had a suit. He had like a professional, like designer suit.
So he had that. I remember at the because I went to the Oregon game, and I remember wandering over to say hi to Schaefer because I went as a fan, and he was talking to him. And he had the suit on, and he had the black shirt logo in his suit in the
lapel, the pocket square.
Yeah, he had a black shirt's pocket square. It's like, this is incredible. He was all dolled up. He looked great.
Well, there was.
When he got fired, he had the Argyle sweater on.
He had the Argyle sweater on.
His first game after they
lost,
he got stuck in the elevator, or he said he got stuck in the elevator, but he didn't get stuck in the elevator. He just went up. He just went upstairs.
Yeah.
And then he tried to come back down later, or
did you guys want to talk?
The next week, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to do that." Like, I was like, nobody
I
told you
think
you're supposed to talk to the media.
Lee Barfneck ripped him to shreds after not talking to the media.
Oh, he did. He did. And I remember talking about it, and people were like, "You guys are overreacting. These guys shouldn't have to talk." And it's like, okay, stop. Just stop.
But he said he got stuck in the elevator. He ggot stuck in the elevator.
I can't believe I forgot this one. Jed, of course, the Bernard Thomas, Steve Peterson.
Oh.
Yeah, what did he say? He was yelling at him. Was he pointing at him?
No, but he was standing there.
In the elevator, the picture.
Kevin and I were in the gallery.
Greatest picture of all time.
And Bernard moves up right next to me when he asked the question. I mean, Bernard was a big guy, and he's just like, he just starts grilling Peterson, and he's not gesturing or anything, but you could tell he's there with purpose. And I was really, really, really hoping that Peterson was soiling himself in that moment.
Oh, man. Some great press conference moments.
You know what? Happy New Year.
I think
Happy
so.
New Year.
Have a
Happy
good
New
little
Year.
stroll.
This
And
is
then-
34.
And then there was yesterday where some guy interrupts a question. and
Who was it?
Mickey accidentally
was
drops
it?
the name of.
Who was that media?
And that's the best we can do. I mean, that's like a 0.5.
I know.
On the,
We
on
got to
the
hire
Bernard
some.
Thomas.
Yeah, we got to hire a crazy coach.
Bring back Bill.
Yep.
Make him the offensive line coach. Be a good call. Plus, he recruits well. Imagine Mickey head coach, Callahan is line coach, Ed Orgeron defensive line coach.
There it is.
Best recruiting staff of all time.
And just have Mickey can be in there talking about recruits
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
publicly.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. All right.
All right.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year again.
And happy Dumb Debates Wednesday. And
Nice.
happy the drops are back, folks.
Folks.
On 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
I'm going to bury a take in here. S'mores are overrated.
Whoa! What kind of a monster are you? Explain yourself. Show your work, Connor.
Melted marshmallow, guys?
Delicious.
No. Not really. Not really at all. Why? Marshmallow is not a good thing. Marshmallows aren't good.
The Connor Happer Show. Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast presented by Bellevue Berry and Pumpkin Ranch from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Sunny start to Wednesday, but becoming mainly cloudy by the afternoon. Slight chance of a shower late, mainly north of the metro, with highs around 60. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
Buy your next vehicle your way from anywhere with Woodhouse. Start your journey online at woodhouse.com. Easily shop all new and pre-owned inventory, explore payment options, and apply for financing. Ready to purchase? Schedule your new vehicle for pickup from the dealership or have it delivered to your driveway. Need a little extra help in determining your perfect vehicle? Our knowledgeable and local dealerships can guide you to the vehicle that best matches your needs. Experience car buying your way with Woodhouse, a trusted auto partner since 1975.
Steve Sipple breaks down the Purdue game and previews the Illinois game. Thursday at Holy Ghost Church on 52nd and Q. Doors open at 5, program starts at 7, and it's only $10 for adults and $5 for children. Sponsored by Jones Barrel Company and Ray Martin Company.
Your neighborhood is more than blocks of buildings. It's the people who live there that make it special. At Union Bank and Trust, we're not just creating home loans, we're making neighbors. We're not just small business lenders, we're small business shoppers. We don't just live in your community, we help you build it. Because our people are your people. Visit ubt.com/neighbor to learn more. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREON info.com.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel, évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
The Zone Hotline is powered by Los Hills Harley-Davidson, your home in the hills. This edition of Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone is proudly presented by Union Bank and Trust. The program starts now.
KOZN. Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO. Don't miss a moment, they'll give you your fix. They're on every day from 2 until 6. Spend your afternoons with John, Josh, and Nick. John, Josh, and Nick. They'll show you what sports talk really is.
Yeah, Steve Sipple's on today. It's not Monday, I swear.
No, it's not. It's a Wednesday.
Because Mitch Holthus and Mike Schaefer are here, as
And
they
dumb
usually are.
Dumb debates.
Dumb debates.
Dumb debates.
Yep.
Dumb debates.
So it's a Wednesday.
Yep.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO.
Oh, wait. You passed the one that said Queen Elizabeth's secret agents.
Hello. Want to watch that? Look at that guy.
Whoa.
He looks like Zorro.
Ooh, Earl of Essex.
I like the way they revealed the letters, so sex showed up first. It showed the word sex before the rest.
Oh, so it's just like House of the Dragon, where the queen is having sex with the King's Guard.
Allegedly.
All right, I don't want to watch this stupid show.
All right.
Yeah, let's watch Batmasters.
I don't think we're going to watch Batmasters either.
Bat Masters?
Hey, college football. What's this? Oh, that was a good game. What's this? Hey, I haven't watched a whole lot of this one. I missed most of this game. You don't want to watch this one?
That's
All right.
fine. You watch whatever you want. You watch whatever you want.
Football.
Oh, but when Formula One practice was on,
We turned it on for
turned it
you.
on.
We
Yeah,
turned
it
it
was all
on.
fine. It was all
You were the one
fine.
who forgot which day it was.
That's true.
That's fair.
Yeah, we watched it the day it was on.
You
Nick.
did. Well, if I sound a little distracted today,
It's because he's playing Bill Callahan press conferences.
well, that and I'm trying to take my mind off some serious stress.
Uh-oh.
I found out today that my oldest son was in an accident. The airbags deployed. It knocked him out, and he randomly called his grandmother asking for money because he was in jail.
Don't know what this is in reference to.
There is a trend.
You scared me at first.
There's a trend where people will prey on elderly folks on the phone.
Okay.
And they will try to come off as if they are, hey, this is your oldest grandson. I'm in country X or town X, and I've been arrested, and I don't want anyone else to know. Can you
Oh.
please wire me some money so I can get out of jail? Blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
Well, this one had to do with a car accident. So my mom called me and said, yeah, how's your son's nose doing? I said, what do you mean? Said, well, the airbag went off and Sam's nose is broke and he needs money because he's in jail. And I knew exactly, as soon as she said that, I knew exactly what had taken place. But that's what these creeps do. They prey on older folks.
Yep.
And they try to pass off these stories and get old people to, let me get my purse out and I'll wire you some money.
You know what I've stopped doing? I've stopped answering the phone.
Yeah, I don't answer my phone
Don't
unless it's a
answer.
number I know.
And the funniest part too
It was a
now
local
is
number though. She sent me the number.
See,
It's
oh,
a
they
local,
are. They're
it's
doing a
local,
really good
they're
job.
always local
It was
numbers.
a local Fremont number.
I like though that they're saying scam likely. My phone will often say that scam likely.
yeah,
It's like, all right, can you just block this then? Just block the scam likely.
It is a fun filter though, because it's always based off of your area code. So whenever I get a 712 call,
yeah,
I know that it's usually a scam call because I have all the 712 numbers I care to have.
Yeah, I used to answer the phone all the time. Never again. I never answer the phone unless it's John. If John calls, I'll answer the phone.
I don't even call him.
You don't even call. I call you every now and then. Hey, coach just got fired. That's usually what I call John for. That's kind of it. I don't call you for anything else.
There's no
Hey,
reason.
coach got fired.
There's no reason to call him.
Mm-hmm. Soon I'll probably call you. Hey, a coach got hired.
Shout out to PJ.
PJ.
Yeah, shout out to PJ.
Row the boat. Coaching against his old team on a Thursday night in August of 2020.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. We're going to have so much fun with that.
Yeah, especially since we'll be there. We just wish it into existence.
Manifest. That's what the kids call it now.
If we're going to do this, man, we got to do it right.
We got to do it big.
We got to do it big.
Can I come with?
We got to do it right.
You have to produce the show, Nick, back here.
Yeah, that's a bad look. I mean, we didn't even take Stibbs with us to Colorado, and Stibbs needed to go to Colorado because at that time, that was the only place he could get the stuff. Now he can get it in a lot more places, but he was really triggered with us because, we were where the stuff was and he couldn't get it. And he had to be here. And, Josh and I got to gallivant across Boulder, Colorado.
Had a great time.
I like Boulder.
Yeah.
Boulder was fun.
Nick, it was a blast.
Boulder's nice.
You should have been there.
It was really good until about, 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Rip.
It was going to be a great party, and then it wasn't.
It was going to be a great party. Well, it will be a great party today on the program with Steve Sipple, Mitch Holthus, Mike Schaefer, and Dumb Debates, your Rooferees lineup powered by the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Card. Ways to get in touch with the program, 402-951-1620, Los Hills Harley-Davidson hotline.
Nice drops.
Email inbox. Equitable Bank email. John at 1620thezone.com or Josh at 1620thezone.com. And the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed, home of Not Frost versus the World. Now you can just roll right into it. I don't even have to. We got a good matchup today.
Ooh, someone told me how to do the settings. I'm going to set this up right now.
Dave Aranda.
Hello, Dave.
Versus Kyle Whittingham.
All right.
In the Power 5 regional semis. Dave Aranda, almost 75% of the vote.
Whoa!
Dave Aranda, head coach, Baylor.
Nice.
I wonder how many people are voting Aranda because they already know Whittingham's not going to be the guy. Because, he's not leaving Utah. I hope
there have been some whispers about it lately.
I hope that when people vote in this, they're voting for who they want to advance, not, we're not going to get that guy.
Yeah.
Because that's not the point of Not Frost versus the World. The point of Not Frost versus the World is to vote for the people you want to vote for. By the way, we haven't done a bracket update for a while. So the winner of this matchup will face Luke Fickle next week in the Power 5 Guys regional final. Tomorrow's matchup, Lane Kiffin versus Coach Prime.
That's a fun one.
That is a fun matchup.
It's a great matchup.
What is that?
What is that?
There are no losers in that matchup. You got a winner on either side. And fun abound.
Plus a former person of Lincoln, Nebraska.
And the winner of that will take on
the FM regional.
Herbs or Mike Gundy.
Dude, Mike Gundy, good coach.
Great coach.
I heard somebody refer to him today as a perennial top 10 program. I was like, wow, that's true. They are always.
They are.
They always hang around inside or just outside the top 10.
I mean, imagine that in the Wild and Crazy regional. Any of those matchups, 5-star matchup for the final. And in the other brackets that have already been determined for their regional final, you have Chris Peterson versus Lance Leipold.
Leipold.
Bill O'Brien versus Mickey Joseph. Now, we all know Mickey's going to win. But I'll be curious to see what the vote percentage will be on that. Because now you're getting into heavy hitters territory. Now you're getting into territory. You got some serious, experienced veteran coaches.
I was gonna say, we're
Mickey
getting close to the
Joseph,
end.
interim head coach, University of Nebraska.
I told you. It is. So that's how the brackets are looking right now. Vote today. You have about 3.5 or so hours to vote.
Rock the vote. It's November. Or it's not November. It's
Dave
October.
Aranda, Kyle Whittingham, J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter page.
You can text us.
At USC 1620.
Michael tweets in, big 2023 schedule reveal overreaction today. Yeah. That's the whole rest of the show. I have seen some Nebraska got screwed takes.
Oh, good God.
They got screwed, John. I'm going to have, you ready for this? Positive boy, a big ass silver lining for Nebraska's schedule. A positive.
I got a big ass silver lining. They're going to play these games.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not 2020 anymore. You don't have to just be happy they're playing football. I got a huge positive, though. An actual positive.
Well, it depends on who wins the midterms. If one side wins the midterms,
Are they canceling football?
Well, yeah.
Well, that's a
I mean,
bummer.
that's what one side does.
I don't think that's the case.
Isn't that Is that
I
not
don't
how it
think
works?
that's- I don't
That's
think
not
so.
how it works.
I don't
Okay.
think so.
I apologize.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll be back. Steve Sipple coming up.
Nice.
On 1620 The Zone.
Hey, everyone. Josh Peterson here for my friends at Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis. 402-498-0220. That is the phone number to give them a call, whether it is booking
Can
tee
you write that
times,
down for me, by the way?
402-498
Right.
0220.
Because I need to hand it to Mike Evans.
Thank you. Yes, because Mike Evans, what does he need or what do the refs need? They need golf lessons. Friends, we all need golf lessons. Whether you're a scratch golfer, whether you're a newbie, whether you're anybody in between, always helps to have proper coaching. If you truly want your golf game to get better, maybe you just want to get a little bit better. So when your boss says, hey, we're golfing this weekend because a client's in town, you're not nervous about embarrassing yourself and topping the ball every other swing like yours truly used to. Maybe you're somebody that is a scratch golfer and you want to see how much better you can get while you're still in great shape, still the age that you are, etc. Well, Mike can help those two options or any other options get better at golf. You will love it more. You will look forward to playing more. You'll get better, and it will change your appreciation for the game overall. 402, write it down, 402-498-0220. Mike Evans, that's the phone number to hand to referees or whatever you're doing with the refs these days. They're located just north of the Dodge on 120th Street.
Can you buy me a call, too?
Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis.
After Nebraska plays on Saturday, you'll wake up on Sunday morning with a severe reaction. Michael Severe returns to 1620 The Zone, and he won't hold back about what went right and what went wrong during the game. He'll also take calls from the most important voice of all, yours, Severe Reaction. Sundays from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., powered by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally, only on 1620 The Zone.
Want to do something nice for a veteran? Then stop by any 42 Degree location and receive an extra discount with your donation of can or box food and hygiene products for the Veterans Food Pantry of Omaha. Donate 2 cans and receive an extra 5%. 4 get you 10%. 6 or more, 15%. With multiple locations, the most knowledgeable and friendliest staff, and a drop-off point for all your food and hygiene products for the Veterans Food Pantry. 42 Degrees, the source by your mom's house.
Caller 4 right now, 402-951-1620. Qualifies for 1620 The Zone's 4-quarter pick'em. It's your chance to pick 4 football games correctly against the spread to win $1,620. Call 402-951-1620. Call now to qualify with 1620 The Zone. Get a full breakdown of what went right and what went wrong immediately after every Nebraska game with Big Red Overreaction. Presented by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. And by Coors Light, keeping Nebraska chill. Also brought to you by Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and more. Join the show immediately after the game and sound off with the good, the bad, and the ugly. Big Red Overreaction on 1019 The Keg and 1620 The Zone.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required. Refund available for 60 days after purchase.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. You'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Results are guaranteed or your money back. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-341-8735 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-341-8735. That's 800-341-8735. What do you have to lose? Call 800-341-8735. Again, 800-341-8735.
Since this is a radio commercial, you can't see the people standing behind me. They're the Langfeld family. Everybody wave. Oh, sorry, you can't see them because radio. Anyway, the Langfelds are the family behind Langfeld Overhead Door, where they proudly install Midland garage doors to fit any space and style, and they don't take a backseat to anyone when it comes to their service. Because if something goes wrong, it's their name on the line. So they're going to make sure it goes right every single time. Langfeld Overhead Door, 402-234-2700.
This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
The story of that commercial break is it's over.
On 1620 The Zone.
Went a little long in the last couple of segments, so we're going to take a break here rather quickly because
we got to talk to Sipple.
We want to talk to Sip, and we'll have a breakdown of the schedule coming up. But as we expected, Nebraska was going to open non-traditionally.
Because it was going to be a conference game.
We thought, now, the only two games on the conference schedule that have a different date
are Nebraska's.
Are on from a Saturday is Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's not to say there won't be others. There will be another Black Friday game. I wouldn't be surprised if there's another Thursday night game.
Yeah.
And
Michigan
the Sunday
State's,
and the Sunday
and
night
the Sunday
game.
Labor Day night game. And plus, Michigan State has often played on a Friday. Well, yeah, and real quick, if you're looking for a Sunday night game to do, I think the pick might be, Ohio State and Indiana or Penn State, West Virginia, because that is a home game for Penn State.
Right.
Ohio State, Indiana, because that's the only other conference matchup. Well, there is Northwestern Rutgers.
That'd be awesome if they put Northwestern and Rutgers on NBC.
Yeah. Did we give you the positive spin on the schedule?
A quick positive?
Positive
sure.
spin. Okay, because people are like, oh my gosh, they opened with 2 road games for only the 3rd time in the last however many years.
I think it's 3rd time since World War II.
Yeah, and the other 2 seasons, 1995. Amy just had this of the Journal Star in 76.
Friend of the program,
the program, indeed. Amy just. Here's the positive, though, John. After that, they only have 3 more road games. So beginning September the 16th, you're at home a ton, and you only have to travel 3 times. That is a serious positive. That's how I always see schedules. Hey, Dallas opened the season, with a road game. Okay, well, that's, or I guess it was a home game this year. Never mind. But that's how I always try to view things. Oh, you have a bunch of road games early? Great. You have a lot of home games, later in the season. Oh, you have a lot of home games early? We'll take advantage of them.
Yep.
This is a positive. Now, it sucks that, Mickey Joseph in his first game as a full-time head coach is going to be against a school like Minnesota. That'll be pretty tough.
Or PJ Fleck coaching against his old school.
Bingo.
Row the boat.
Colorado's a dumpster fire, so hopefully they're able to take care of business. But yeah, 3 straight road games, 5 out of 6 in a stretch. It's nice. It's a nice schedule. That's how I'm going to spin it.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad at all. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll take a look at it and see, which teams got hosed, if anyone got hosed, which teams got kissed. A kiss. A little kiss
from a rose.
Like Bill Raftery would say, little kiss. Coming up. But first, Stephen M. Sipple.
Whoa.
Parker.
Drops!
Who compared Trev Alberts to Sir Winston Churchill.
He did?
Yes, he did.
Also, that might not even be the weirdest thing that he compared Trev to.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
What the hell else is there?
We'll tell you next.
Trev reminds me of a rear bumper from a 67 Buick.
Yeah, that sounds like something he would. He reminds me of my hog.
Blue Collar Boxing is coming up on November the 23rd at Ralston's Liberty First Credit Union Arena.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice try to save there.
Mhm.
Proceeds benefit Nebraska Center for Workforce Development and Education and the United Way of the Midlands. If you want to watch union members beat the crap out of each other, this is the place to go.
Nice.
Well, that's what they're doing. They're boxing.
Hell yeah, they are.
Get all the details at 1620thezone.com. Steve Sipple next.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Your neighborhood is more than blocks of buildings. It's the people who live there that make it special. At Union Bank and Trust, we're not just creating home loans, we're making neighbors. We're not just small business lenders, we're small business shoppers. We don't just live in your community, we help you build it. Because our people are your people. Visit ubt.com/neighbor to learn more. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
It's Halloween at Genesis Health Clubs. Join with no enrollment fee, no contract, and save 20% per month every month. Hurry, just 5 days left. It may be the spookiest time of the year, but starting a new fitness routine doesn't have to be scary. Genesis Health Clubs has top-of-the-line equipment and the absolute best personal trainers, tennis professionals, and group fitness instructors to help keep you motivated and headed towards your fitness goals. Plus, relax in luxury afterwards with saunas, steam rooms, and fluffy towel service. Whatever your fitness needs, Genesis is here to help every step of the way, and there's nothing scary about that. This Halloween, join Genesis Health Club with no enrollment fee, no contract, and save 20% per month every single month. But hurry, this offer will end before you have a chance to count your Halloween candy. It ends on Halloween and won't extend. Just 5 days left. Go to GenesisHealthClubs.com before Halloween and get no enrollment fee, no contract, and save 20% per month every month. 5 days left. This offer will not extend.
42 Degrees, the source for glass and water pipes, vaporizers, candles, kratom, CBDs, and so much more. And if you're looking for premium certified e-juice, look no further than 42 Degrees.
Buy your next vehicle your way from anywhere with Woodhouse. Start your journey online at woodhouse.com. Easily shop all new and pre-owned inventory, explore payment options and apply for financing. Ready to purchase? Schedule your new vehicle for pickup from the dealership or have it delivered to your driveway. Need a little extra help in determining your perfect vehicle? Our knowledgeable and local dealerships can guide you to the vehicle that best matches your needs. Experience car buying your way with Woodhouse, a trusted auto partner since 1975.
West Omaha, you're in for a treat. Cops is now open at 180th and Center. Famous for their pizza and wings, but with their new location comes an extensive new menu that includes salmon, certified Angus beef fillets, ribeyes, New York strips, several pasta dishes, salads, and an extensive variety of shareable appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. Now open at Shadow Lake Town Center and 180th and Center. Click copspizza.com to see the menu. Pizza, steaks, pasta, salads, and so much more.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Sipple the snowflake is one old triggered soul with reading glasses sitting on his nose and takes that really blow. Sipple the snowflake deserves a mouthpiece to the face. He says LeBron's the GOAT and Steph will choke. Then he runs to his safe space. Hey, we gotta be careful here. He tells us when we speak. But when 10 games air in a day, he thinks that's too many. Oh! Sipple the snowflake says words like mature. He's a blogger now and an honor too, and also really old.
Fans, do not adjust your radios. It is not Monday. It is Wednesday. Sip apparently had either phone calls to make or maybe he was reviewing all of those audio tapes of the great Winston Churchill and then comparing them to the great oratory skills of Trevor Alberts If you're gonna compare Trev Alberts to Sir Winston Churchill, Sip, I think you need to now start referring to him as Trevor Alberts.
Nice.
Because it's got to be more prim and proper because we're talking about Sir Winston Churchill here.
Well, we're talking about Trev Alberts, who's prim and proper. Trev reminds me of I've told you guys this. He reminds me of a funeral director.
That's what he wrote. That was the other thing he said. A funeral director.
He would be a great funeral director. Like if this is bad, this whole deal, he would be a high level. He's very down to earth, very kind, congenial, looks you in the eye. This has that way about him. He'd be perfect.
Well, it seems to fit this program the last 5 years. I mean, it's needed a good funeral director.
Oh, I just ran a red light. That was not good.
Wow.
I'm going to pull over here in a second.
That's a good idea.
Mr. Banana Republic.
Good memory.
It's one of our best of, Sip.
Oh, man. Well, you were adamant from the start, Sip, because I remember when we had this conversation, I think it was the Monday after Frost was fired, or it may have been the next week, but it was very, very early on. And you were adamant from the beginning that Mickey always wanted the permanent job. Do you think that feeling has grown stronger in 5 weeks, especially now he's done the job? He's seen the energy that goes into the job. And with anything else, even if something you've never done before, it's kind of like when you ride that roller coaster the first time, you're like, man, that was pretty fun. I'm going to do it again. Do you think his confidence has grown in himself that he can do the job?
Yeah, it's a good question. And yeah, you can see it. I mean, I don't know that Mickey would say it like that, but you can definitely see it in the way he conducts himself. Yeah. I mean, you're going to have to pull this thing away from him now. And maybe it'll be easy and maybe it'll be hard. He can make it pretty hard. I mean, one way to make it hard would be to be. No, I definitely think his confidence has grown. I see it at the podium, because I see him on the sideline and I see him at the podium. That's where I see it. But I think at the podium, you call it a lectern? You call it a lectern? At that.
Well, Sir Winston Churchill called it a fireside chat, but that was Roosevelt. Sorry.
Sometimes they get a lectern though. Anyway, yeah, Mickey gotten pretty interesting.
Sip, would you make him the favorite for the job right now? Like if you were Las Vegas and you were putting the odds together?
I hate it. I don't like that. Here's the thing, Josh. I wouldn't attempt to do that, especially not just me. I mean, I'd want to consult.
Okay.
I'd want to make that a consult. I'd want to consult with people. I have a hard time doing that myself because I just have limited knowledge. I don't mind saying it. I have limited knowledge of what Trev's thinking right now or what Trev's doing. Who does know? I mean, who does? Maybe Doug Ewald, his right-hand man up there, the chief financial officer. It's probably, I think his name's Doug Ewald.
Yeah.
He would probably know.
Yep.
Maybe one other close friend type thing. I know Trev's got a few close friends in Omaha. And beside that, maybe his wife, but I'd say not many people at all.
Do you think it has gotten far enough along now, especially if, with Mickey showing severe interest in this and his confidence and everything else? Because, at the very beginning it was, well, if they don't hire Mickey, he's going to hang around. Nebraska's going to want to keep him. Could this be far enough along and Mickey be so sure of himself that he should be the guy that if he doesn't get the job, that he would choose to go somewhere else? Forget about whether or not the next coach would hire him or not, that he would say, I need to go somewhere else so I can have this opportunity.
Well, it just becomes about opportunity at that point.
Right.
What is the opportunity we're talking about? Hard to answer without knowing that. It's also hard to answer, John, without knowing how many more games he wins. I mean, because his marketability will be tied largely to how many more games he wins. And I think most people agree that if he wins 3 more and gets into a bowl game, it's going to be hard not to hire. I'm not saying he would get hired, but it'd be hard not to, because the fan base will be split. And if you don't hire Mickey, then it could be tough for the next guy, right? So by putting him, that's what I've said all along, is by putting Mickey in the interim chair, there's either two things. I mean, Trev might have made a tactical mistake, or this was what he envisioned. He envisioned Mickey doing very well and sort of making the choice for him. Now, I don't know which one it is. It's sort of interesting, though. But I don't know that when it all went down, that I envisioned Nebraska being at this point in the season, October 29th, with an ABC game at 2:30 that's meaningful and really would catapult Mickey's chances significantly with a win. So listen, if you're not intrigued by this game, I don't know what to tell you. There's a lot to think about right now.
You mentioned it a minute ago, fan opinion and how much it's going to escalate, especially if they win on Saturday. How much in the ultimate big picture end of the day does fan opinion matter in the conversation of who Trev should select as head coach?
I think it should matter quite a bit. I don't know exactly how much, but I do think it matters, because this program's largely defined by the fan base, especially now. That's the one thing that's held on, not the one, but it's the one major one. And it matters. I mean,
do you worry though, Sip, that because now the last coaching search was, it was so obvious, not only because of the experience, but because the fan support was almost universally behind Frost. But does it worry you that maybe the mob rule mentality is a dangerous path to go down?
Yeah, it does. It does concern me, especially with the scenario we threw out, which is if Mickey were to get to 6 wins, if he would get the program to 6 wins, and Trev wants to hire someone else, it's going to be tough for that person because of what you referred to as the mob mentality, which would, it'd be significant. It would be automatically, guys, the new coach would be walking into a divisive situation in a powerful fan base. Divisive at Nebraska is tough. It's tough to manage because it's a very spirited fan base. I wouldn't envy the person that walks into that situation, even if Mickey's part of the staff. It'd be great talk radio. It'd get really hot.
Do you think it'd be divisive though if Mickey gets the job too? Just given, we hear from him all the time. As much as people like him, the lack of experience, and of course every game that he coaches, it's just more experience as a head coach. But I know I've heard that a lot lately. Like I like him, but he just has not been a head coach, and this hire needs to be someone more proven.
5 games left. Josh, to avoid this kind of the situation you laid out, he'd probably have to win 4. No, you're right. No, there's not. I listen. I've been pretty supportive of Mickey's, candidacy. I've been impressed by his audition. When I've expressed that, I do get a lot of pushback. So yeah, no, it's hey, come on now. Trev's in a very challenging situation right now, and if you listen to him last week on statewide radio, you could hear it. We're not even in the intense period of it yet.
No.
No. I think, Sip, I've said it this a couple times this week, and I guess I'll throw it your way. I think that the next 2 games are actually more important for his candidacy than the last 2 games are, Because I think that these are the games, let's say they win on Saturday. First win over a ranked opponent in 6 years. They are suddenly then 2 wins away from a bowl game. And the Minnesota contest is looking, easier by the day, just given what we thought it would be maybe a month ago. I don't know if he can win the job in the next 2 games, but I definitely think he could lose the job, because you lose the next 2 and then the Michigan game, suddenly you're out of bowl contention. And I just don't know if he could win it back by that point. So I think the next 2 games are actually more important.
I think you are dead on. I do. I think that's a great way to put it. In fact, I smell a Friday column.
Oh.
I do. I think you're right. I think he could lose it here. And I think you brought up a critical element in that conversation is Ann Arbor. I mean, if you can't beat Illinois on your home field, or Minnesota on your home field, Illinois on your home field, Minnesota on your home field, and then you go get hammered at Ann Arbor, like we probably think will happen. Yeah, that's trouble for his candidacy. It really is. You couldn't. There's not much you could say at that point. Now, you have the 2 rivals waiting at the end. I don't know, Josh. Those are powerful.
They are, for sure.
But I know by and large, I agree with you 100%. He could lose his candidacy in these next 3 games.
Just do me a favor. If you are going to do a Friday column on Josh's idea, if you could drop in Trev Alberts reminds me of Bobby the Brain Heenan. I think that would be that'd be a nice little touch.
He doesn't remind me of Bobby the Brain Heenan.
What are you talking about? Bobby the Brain Heenan, greatest manager in the history of the World Wrestling Federation and the smartest guy. I mean, who wouldn't want Bobby the Brain running their organization?
I know who you're talking about, John, because I watch those things on Sundays. And Bobby the Brain Heenan wasn't like a fabulous orator. He wasn't.
Oh, come on. He had one-liners for everything.
No, he was a meathead.
On the game on Saturday, can Nebraska win on Saturday if, like they did against Purdue, they only have 18 minutes time of possession or a near 2-to-1 ratio against them in plays run? Can they win with that?
Yeah, I think they could. I mean, just like they're 1 series away. They just need the ball one more time against Purdue, right? That's what it came down to in my eyes. They just need the ball one more time. They didn't get it. So, yeah, I don't like the way this game sets up for Nebraska. I want to be clear on that. I don't like – if you just look at it from a pure setup standpoint, I mean, everybody – if you're a Nebraska fan, it's got to be kind of hard. I mean, you like the way Illinois plays, right? I mean, they bully you.
Yep.
They run power and counter. Remember when Nebraska used to run counter and how cool that was?
Yes.
They're going to counter Nebraska to death, I imagine. And then they're going to they just come in here, and the whole thing is we're just going to assert our physicality. We're going to impose our will, and what they have is a running back who Bill Bush said today turns 3-yard gains into 6 routinely. He has more. Chase Brown has more rushing yards after contact than Anthony Grant has rushing yards. I mean, so what do you have here? You have a team that can bully you and hold the ball, and then when they give it over to the defense is excellent. I mean, it's a tough 5-man front. They're going to get out. They sack the quarterback 3.5 times a game. They pressure you. They average 21 pressures a game. Yeah, it's just a great. I mean, this is Bielema. He has a great system. He does. It's pretty simple. It's not overly complex. It's not overly simple. I don't want to present it that way, but it's proven, especially in the Big Ten, and that just kind of listen. Here's what I would say, and this fits perfectly with. We can end it here. Fits perfectly with our conversation, guys. If Mickey Joseph is able to manage his way to a Nebraska win over Bielema, come on. I mean, that it would be an upset from that standpoint. I mean, you're talking about an interim coach against a coach who led Wisconsin to 3 Rose Bowls, including one win, 3 Big Ten titles. You're talking about probably, one of the top 3 national coach of the year candidates right now. Now, Mickey can pull this off. How could you not look at him closely for the head coaching job?
What's interesting, Sip, because I was going to ask this question. It's not. I don't think it's a question that can be quickly answered. But if Nebraska were to win, biggest win since, and a reason why I think it's a difficult question to answer. Obviously, a lot of people are pointing back to, well, they haven't beaten a ranked team since Oregon in 2016. Haven't beat a ranked conference team since Michigan State in 2015. But
playoff team.
But it's bigger than that because
it might earn a guy a job.
Well, it might earn a guy a job. Plus, for the moment, it puts you right back in squarely into the division race.
Which is nuts.
Which, if you look back at the late either the last game in October, first game in November results over the last few years.
They're always
Nebraska's usually out of the conversation by that point. You win on Saturday, you're in that conversation. And I know people will look at the schedule and say, yeah, but they're not. Forget about that. Just in terms of where this places you and then all the other factors, I think it's a hard question to answer right now that to find the last win like this that Nebraska has had if they get it on Saturday.
In terms of being meaningful, right?
Yes.
Because the win against Oregon wasn't particularly meaningful, was it?
In the moment, yes, but it lost a lot of steam after Oregon took it.
It was important because if they lost that and they have another, sub 500 a year, I do wonder if Riley might have gotten fired. So it was important from that perspective. But in the grand scheme, that season amounted to, no trophies or anything like that. Whereas, Sip, I just looked at the standings. So Purdue's off this week. So Nebraska, because of the tiebreaker, Nebraska would suddenly be sitting in second place, no matter what happens with the other 4 teams. Because Purdue's off, and they'd have the tiebreaker over Illinois. So they'd be in second place in the Big Ten West with 4 games all in November to go.
Right, like you said, or we agreed, it would be a pretty sizable coaching upset.
Yeah.
It would. This is. Jerry DiNardo told our show the other day that Bielema is about as good as he has seen. He has seen. DiNardo's, I don't know, he's 69 years old.
Nice.
He's been a head coach at 3 different institutions, 3 different Power 5 institutions, and this would be a coaching, just from a pure coaching standpoint. Mickey would understand us saying that too. It would be pretty remarkable from that standpoint.
Tommy Rizak says 2010 Missouri.
2010 Missouri.
In terms of they went to the last conference title game in 2012, so maybe one of those wins.
Yeah, when Bo basically
they went on the 6-game run,
they had to win 5 straight.
Yeah,
I would say you might be able to say like 2012 Michigan State because
huge win, great comeback win.
Remember how they had to come back in that game?
The Taylor Martinez game in a nutshell. He was really good and really bad.
Yeah, all in the same game.
That was such a fun game.
Sip, though, I am glad you brought up Jerry DiNardo because I saw a tweet today that's from your past.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that read
know what you're talking
from 2018, Thursday column. Jerry DiNardo says Jim Harbaugh, quote, all over map, while Scott Frost, quote, clearly has a plan. Without hesitation, the BTN analyst says he thinks Frost will lead Nebraska to first place in its division before Harbaugh does so at Michigan.
Oh, no. I'll have to retweet it right now.
At the time, it was perfectly reasonable. And if people did that to me, well, they do a little bit. You see that.
Yeah.
They keep your receipts, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're all.
Now, in fairness, you were quoting DiNardo. You weren't making the quote. You were quoting DiNardo. Now, I did, and for those of you watching in the stream, I have a screenshot. I did clean up the tweet a little bit.
Oh, you did?
I did. Without hesitation, the BTN analyst says he thinks Frost will lead Nebraska to first place in its Golden Tee League before Harbaugh does so at Michigan.
What is wrong with you?
Everything.
Who doesn't
I don't
like
want to kick a turd here.
Who doesn't like a game of Golden Tee?
Oh,
I have Golden Tee on my phone.
Yeah, you and Frost, 2 peas in a pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're horrible.
I am horrible. I am horrible.
Oh.
All right.
That was fun.
I like Wednesday sip.
Yeah.
He's less surly than Monday sip.
Yeah, what's up with you on Mondays, man?
Hey, thanks, by the way, for adjusting. I don't know. My Monday, I mean, we don't need to settle this on the air. Me and Nick can do it behind the scenes, but my Mondays are really packed, so it's hard.
Maybe you're a Wednesday guy now.
Settle behind. Are we going to fight, Sip?
Do you know? I mean, you've been a Monday guest on this program since before I was on this program.
Yeah, that's true.
A Monday guest on this program, 2002.
Jeez. Dating back to the
2000.
Frank Solich era.
Do you remember who was hosting the show then?
I was 5.
Was that back in the? Was that back in the Johnny Carson days?
No. Kevin, some guy named Kevin.
Kevin.
I only remember the Bob guy. I don't remember the Kevin guy.
Bob. It was Bob and Kevin.
Remember when Bob came back to the station and you were going on his show 3 times a week? That was hilarious. And he'd ask you about Creighton.
Remember when Bob would come in here dressed up?
Yeah, he'd have suits on.
He'd have suits on.
what
He's
are you
like,
doing,
you're on
Bob?"
radio, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on, he's professional.
Yeah, well, we're not.
Well, we are not.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Sip. Well, have a good one. I'll see you in the press box on Saturday. I'll come up and say hi. Yeah.
Great conversation. Yeah, definitely say hi, please.
I will. Yeah, we can get, I'm sure, you and me and Michael will run into each other, and we'll bring Kent over, and we'll just have an old man conversation.
Oh, that's just
There'll be a lot of old talking.
Oh, we
I
know.
love talking to Kent for that reason, because he's one of the few people I identify with anymore.
Nice.
Yeah, but Kent is young at heart. I mean,
That's definitely true.
the dude is plugged.
Unlike you and I.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah,
Hell no.
I've been old at heart for 100 years.
That's right. All right, Sip.
Bye.
Take care, bud.
Bye.
Steve Sipple of HuskerOnline.com. I hope I didn't drop a Journal Star in there.
I don't
somewhere.
think so.
Did I
Dion
drop
said,
it?
well,
HuskerOnline.com.
Dion says, why can't the media ever be truthful? The odds of Nebraska winning Saturday are 0. I don't think
Wow,
they're
Coach
0.
Prime said that?
I don't think that
No, they're not 0.
I don't think they are 0. I know we have
They're a 7-point dog.
I know we have Mitch Holthus. I do want. There was a couple things in the interview that I wanted to talk about with him. In particular, what he said about the fans. I really want to talk about that because there's already been a little bit of blowback in terms of putting your finger up, seeing where the wind's blowing, going with the fans. So I want to talk about that.
I just want to talk about FanDuel.
That works for me.
You want to talk about FanDuel?
Let's talk about FanDuel.
Perfect time to download FanDuel. It's America's #1 sports book. And right now, no sweat bet new customers. That's right. No sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's bets back. Free bets back. If your first bet doesn't win, and all you have to do is use our promo code 1620. A lot of things you can bet on, including you can be, just like Pete Rose, you can bet on baseball. The World Series is starting this Friday. You can bet on baseball.
Nice.
We got college. You got a huge slate of college games. There's so many things to bet on. You can bet on Nick's Formula One. And if that first bet doesn't win, no sweat. Up to $1,000 back, or up to $1,000 in bets can be paid back in free bets for you by using promo code 16.
John, have you seen this? Have you heard about this? The line for the game on Saturday?
Is it still 7.5?
It's still 7.5, which it has been over the last 24 hours or so. Nebraska also plus 230 on the money line. So if you are hearing what listener Dion has to say, and you're like, Dion, you are wrong, take advantage. Plus 230, no sweat first bet. Put in our promo code today on the FanDuel Sportsbook app or website. Promo code 1620. That is the FanDuel Sportsbook promo code 1620. 21 plus and present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. Refund is issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions do apply. See terms. Sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Previously on the crossover.
Bruce Feldman. I really think Alabama is not as good as people say. Oh, baby, I'm so hot.
Actually, saying that does kind of get me going. Wait, Alabama, I missed the CFP? Hold on, I'm almost there. Say it slower. Yeah.
Mornings on 1620 The Zone. The Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike Conduct. 6A to 6P. 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast presented by Bellevue Berry and Pumpkin Ranch from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly cloudy and mild into late afternoon with the temperatures in the upper 50s. Mainly cloudy tonight, low temperatures in the mid 40s, and still mainly cloudy on Thursday, maybe a spotty shower. high in the upper 50s. I am Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
With some big-time events coming up, including the Luke Combs concert at the CHI Health Center right here in Omaha, October 28th and 29th. Be sure to check out my friends at ticketsforless.com. It's not all about sports. It's about shows, and it's also about finding the best tickets at ticketsforless.com. So whether you want to see the pageantry at Memorial Stadium on a Saturday, catch a game at Arrowhead Stadium, Tickets for Less is your source for the best tickets. Also, without those crazy per ticket fees you'll pay on other sites, trust me, you'll keep going back to ticketsforless.com. Compare and save today at ticketsforless.com. Email us on the Equitable Bank inbox with whatever is on your mind. Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can get me, Gary, at 1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone Inbox.
When it comes to cement fiber siding, you want durability, hail and chip resistance, and beauty. You want James Hardy cement fiber siding. Carp's Complete Home Exteriors is an elite preferred James Hardy contractor. Call Carp's today or visit carpsomaha.com.
Visit Sid Dillon Chevrolet to shop inventory or to order your new vehicle. And we're your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, offering medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
If COVID taught us anything, it's that local matters. Local shops, local restaurants, even locally brewed beers. October is Drink Local Month. So the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild is challenging beer, seltzer, and cider drinkers like you to put your palate through its paces and drink local brews. Because seriously, Nebraska is really on the cutting edge when it comes to brewers who think outside the box. And besides, you really want to be drinking what they drink over in Iowa? Didn't think so. Click drinklocalnebraska.com.
Steve Sipple breaks down the Purdue game and previews the Illinois game. Thursday at Holy Ghost Church on 52nd and Q. Doors open at 5, program starts at 7, and it's only $10 for adults and $5 for children. Sponsored by Parking Area Maintenance Inc. and Husker Hounds.
This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
That's a mighty big nightstick you have there, officer.
The 1620 The Zone.
You ready? The most exciting announcer in professional football.
Picked off at the goal line. 20, 15, 10, 5. Jalen Watson. Welcome to the
Nobody can paint a picture with words quite like he can.
Will activate all 5 senses of your body. I think the rectal buzz that you get from the seat, maybe,
The man.
Touchdown! Kansas City!
The myth.
And the Chiefs Kingdom has firmly planted its flag on top of football's highest summit.
The legend of the Hy-Vee salad bar.
You want to chalk focus right now in the parking lot of the St. Joe Hy-Vee.
Mitch Holthus.
The Kansas City Chiefs are champions of Super Bowl 54.
Yes. And as a matter of fact, they're replaying the game right now on the NFL Network. And we're watching it right now. Josh, you made a comment during the break saying, yeah, you look at this score right now. Ooh. Boy, did that change.
Uh-huh.
Yep. 14-13 in the first half, late in the first half. And things got a little crazy in the second half. The voice of the Chiefs, the man who was there, Mitch Holthus. Mitch, was that as much fun to call as it was to watch, especially for those of us who had a rooting interest against Frisco?
Yes, it was. It was quite enjoyable, quite honestly. Now, the Chiefs walked right into a cauldron of 49erness because they were putting everything San Francisco into that game to win it, getting Christian McCaffrey up and running in a day. Guys, they had like maybe 12 guys on the injured list. All of them are going to play except Eric Armstead. And so they're like, we're all in. And then, as you mentioned, it's a tussle all the way up to 28-23. And then whammo, the Chiefs obliterated them. And to get explosive plays in all 3 phases was what was enlightening and exhilarating if you're a fan of the Chiefs Kingdom.
Mitch, idle week now has arrived. I wonder if the offense is what you thought it would be coming into the season, because, of course, there are all the questions, and we hit on it a variety of times throughout August, no Tyreek Hill, and how things were going to change. Is this what you thought the Chiefs offense would look like at this point in the season?
Yeah, we saw glimpses in potential even during the summer, just like the Marquez Valdez-Scantling play. There were plays in the summer and at St. Joseph that looked like that, and then, okay, we could see that happening. And We didn't see the Juju Smith-Schuster plays because he just didn't do a whole lot with his injury rehab, but now we see what he can do. And then McCole Hardman has always been a bit underrated with his speed and ability to make an explosive play. It's all just kind of snapping together here and realizing they're going to be a very, very difficult team to defend if they get those running backs going, which they did. I mean, that was the number. Okay, let's just back up the truck. Here we are, 7 games into the season. Oh, the Chiefs will not be explosive with Tyreek Hill. They're number 1 in the league, you guys, in 20-plus completions with 33. They are number 1 in the league in scoring. They're number 1 in the league in scoring efficiency. They're number 2 in red zone touchdown efficiency. They're number 2 in third down offense. They're getting big plays, small plays. They're number 1 in the NFL in yards after contact. They can throw it to Juju at 8 yards. He can turn it into a 48-yard gain. So, yes, there's no Tyreek Hill. There's no wash play, but you kind of got a wash play with the 57-yarder to Marquez Valdes-Scantling. This offense is still very much explosive and more effective, I would say, and more efficient now than they were a year ago or 2 years ago.
And I think part of it is, with Tyreek Hill especially, you could just send him down the field and he can beat his guy one-on-one and get past him and you throw over the top. But you're starting to see the chemistry now come into fold with some of the new guys, Smith-Schuster being one of them, where the back shoulder throws, which are so important in any offense, but with maybe not as much ability to run past the coverage, but to have the timing and the chemistry with Mahomes to throw the back shoulder, you can still get the downfield shots and put the coverage guy in a bind because he's not sure, hey, do I have to defend the deep pattern, the post, or the fly? Or is this guy going to stop and the ball's going to be thrown behind him? And I thought that was done really well in the San Francisco game.
So well put, because that's precisely what I would echo every one of those thoughts. It's precisely what's happening. The other thing is you're getting some help for Travis Kelce, not just the tight ends, but Fortson and Gray doing enough, but the Juju Smith-Schuster angle to this game where he's now opposite Kelce getting yards after catch, meaning just think about the Buffalo play of 45 yards and a touchdown. Buffalo's doing a great job playing chess. They're playing man-to-zone combos. Leslie Frazier's throwing everything at him. Well, it's like playing a matchup zone in basketball. You can be out of position. If I'm out of position, I go over and just try to tackle Travis Kelce. I'm out of position on Juju Smith-Schuster, who will catch the 10-yard hook route of the slant and go bye-bye. And not just great speed, he'll be a tackle breaker. That helps Kelce. And Coach Reed was telling me about that on Monday, of just what that element has done to the game. And you mentioned the back shoulder throw game. They're better right now. They're more efficient than they were probably since 2019.
Mitch, off week, where would you like to see things improve when you look at the back half of the season? Where can they get better over this time off?
Yeah, it's a great question, Josh. It's the consistency in the run game. You saw it pop on Sunday against San Francisco. They used Nick Bosa against in the big run by Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but just the straight basic runs and Pacheco maybe being more involved in that part of the game. If they get downhill some in the run game, then look out. They check every box. The consistency would be also on defense on that end, a better pass rush, although they got 5 sacks against San Francisco and they beat Trent Williams for a safety, but still consistency and explosively there on the defensive side as well. And then special teams have got to be better. You can't muff 2 punts inside the 10. I mean, that's happened twice in 7 games. The kickoff hit was good with 48 yards from Pacheco, and the punter's been awesome. He's number 1 in the league in net punting, which is the key stat. Field goal kicking is at the bottom of the league. 4 missed field goals from 3 different guys. I mean, that's got to get it better. But you see this trend working in the direction that if you're a Chiefs fan that you love, because it's what I said a week ago, is the ceiling for this team might be as high as any team right now in the National Football League.
Unfortunately, not all the news is good, but at least there's a bye week to kind of figure out what the plan is going to be, and that is that Frank Clark is suspended for 2 games. There was a couple of unrelated, there were a couple of gun-related arrests that took place in the offseason. NFL announced a suspension. So he's going to miss the Titans game and the Jaguars game. He'll be back for the Chargers in week 11. What do you think, Spags and company are going to plan now without one of their best pass rushers for those two games.
Not to make any disparaging remarks about Frank, but Frank's a piece now. This wouldn't be like losing Kelsey, which is like you're losing a complete tire. You just got to put some air back in the tire in this instance. And they knew this was coming, and they've been working on this for months with the people that work on that. But with Carlos Dunlap, get Mike Dana hopefully back with the bye week. You mentioned that does help. Karlaftis is doing more and more as the weeks go on from a positive standpoint. And with Malik Herring now jumping in there and making some plays against San Francisco, you've got a good enough rotation. Again, it's like I tell you, I lose sleep over a lot of things. I'm just not going to lose, and nothing against Frank. Frank, we saw what Frank can do, but they've got depth at that position, and they feel good about it.
We'll leave with a humorous stat.
Oh.
Well, it's humorous if you're a Chiefs fan. If you're Stibbs, RIP, it's not very funny.
From the grave.
So far in 2022, your AFC West touchdown leaders.
Oh, no.
Chiefs have scored 28.
Okay, pretty good.
Chargers 18.
Overrated.
Raiders 17.
Okay.
Broncos 8.
Oh,
At the current pace.
That's right.
At the current pace, the Broncos will tie the Chiefs in week 11 of 2023 if the Chiefs don't score again. There's your chuckle of the day, Mitch.
That's just put that's an interesting one. I hope Stibbs is actually at the Drover right now with Justin. Still thinking the Dodgers are in it. Didn't we win 111 games?
Wow.
Yeah, you lost to the Padres. Go bye-bye. So it's just not a good fall for those guys. But, hang in there. They're both good guys.
They are. We'll just pat them on the back and say
2023. That's quite the stat.
Yeah, week 11 of 2023.
Oh my God. Okay.
Jeez.
All right, Mitch Holthus is the voice of the Chiefs, brought to you by Hy-Vee, official grocery partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. Thanks, Mitch.
Bye, Mitch.
See you guys. Enjoy your bye week. I'm going to watch some DePaul today.
Oh, fun.
Well, if you want, you can prep and do some Drury prep with me. Drury is our opponent this week.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There you go, Drury, the Panthers. D2, baby.
All right.
Yep.
Mitch knows them
Alma
all.
mater of Will Shields' daughter.
One of these days, we're going to bring Mitch on in the middle of summer, and we're just going to throw him random small colleges and small high schools in the Quad State area and see if he can hit 100%.
I like it.
I'm in.
All right. Challenge accepted.
I'm on this.
All right. Mitch Holthus,
Bye,
ladies and
Mitch.
gentlemen, from your Kansas City Chiefs radio network. You can join Gary and friend.
Yeah, who's the friend this week? Is it Nick?
I hope the friend is Emeril Lagasse. He needs a good short order cook to help him out. Not that the folks at Jones Bros don't already make a great breakfast, but when it's the unauthorized Big Red Breakfast, it's up to Gary to both cook and collect the money.
Oh.
Or actually pay, because the first 20 listeners who show up to Jones Bros get free breakfast on Gary.
He gives you his card. He tells you the PIN, all that stuff. Last four of his soch.
Yep. Then after the first 20 listeners, your Jones Brothers breakfast is only $6.
And I just found out. You know who the friend is this week?
Who?
Happer. So that Happer does the other stuff.
Happer gets to wash and bust the tables.
Indeed, he does.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah, he throws
so
away
be
your
extra
trash.
messy.
Yeah, make Happer
For
clean.
Happer.
Yeah.
Actually, don't. We don't want Jones Bros to look sloppy because they're a first-class
Well,
organization.
Happer cleans up very well, but you're right. Good call, John.
For the full unauthorized Big Red Breakfast schedule, visit 1620thezone.com. Schedule takes.
Yeah, but I want to talk about, you asked Sipple about hiring Mickey and the fan response.
All right. Josh wants to crap on all of you, the fans, coming up. And then Mike Schaefer.
Nice.
Who is asking poll questions that are triggering the fans.
That's a good poll question.
It is a good poll question.
Can't wait to talk about it.
So stay right there. We got more to come right here on 1620 The Zone.
1620 The Zone's four-quarter pick'em returns. It's your chance to win $1,620. All you have to do is correctly pick 4 college or NFL games against the spread. Listen to qualify every weekday or enter online at 1620thezone.com. One lucky listener will be selected each week to make their picks live on air.
Awesome.
Go to 1620thezone.com for complete rules and contest details. It's 4-quarter pick'em with 1620 The Zone.
There are actually two kinds of cigars. The first is the one you smoke with beloved family and friends. The second, the one you enjoy with friends you've just met. And you'll find both at Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge. At Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge, there's a well-stocked humidor with some of the best bands from around the world and a bar with your favorite cocktails and other drinkables. So what do you say? Which cigar will you be enjoying tonight? Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge, just off I-680 and 48th Street next to Cubby's.
Teaching is one of the most fulfilling careers you can pursue. If you have a bachelor's degree but are not satisfied with your current career, change it. At College of St. Mary, you can earn a teaching certificate and a master's degree at the same time. We make it easy to balance your work and home life with classes online and on Saturdays. In just a few short months, you could start a teaching career that will make a difference in the lives of children and their families. Our MAP program is inclusive and open to everyone. Get started today. Visit College of St. Mary at csm.edu.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power and savings with style. Not to mention top tech to help keep you connected. Plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. With a hybrid or electric vehicle built for every driver. Seriously, dear gas prices? Do you really think you can stand in our way? Think again. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimate CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
See your independently owned Omaha Metro Toyota dealers. Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Corwin Toyota of Bellevue.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required. Refund available for 60 days after purchase.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. You'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Results are guaranteed or your money back. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
Well, the season can definitely start now. I just got Rob Anderson's Creighton notes for the exhibition game that's not until Sunday.
Gets his stuff in early. Love to see it.
You have no idea how important a good SID is to the situation.
The notes that we got, John Schreiner and I got for tomorrow night's matchup between the Creighton women's team and Butler, Morrison, best road notes I think of the season. They had actual information in there, pronunciation guide.
Very important. These things are very important.
It's very nice.
I know to the rest of you it doesn't matter, but what will matter is every game this season on both 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.
The takeover continues.
The takeover continues. That's right. Home and away.
We're allowing you on our station.
I don't think you're doing a damn thing
I'm
about this.
taking.
Nick. Yeah.
I don't give, I take.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, every game this season.
Every game.
Blue Jay basketball, 1620 The Zone, 1019 The Keg. This Sunday, 6 o'clock is the tip-off time. Ravi will do a short pregame.
Abbreviated?
At 5.
You think when we ultimately take over the station, should we like go in there pretending like we're going to do like FM things and then suddenly the Reigns of Castamere start playing and, you know, we take over?
Of course, Josh is going to. Josh is talking about stabbing people.
Just Nick.
By the way, speaking of stabbing people, our movie this week, Halloween Ends.
Does it? Let it end.
It seems, I won't spoil anything.
Don't say anything.
It's streaming on.
Jeez.
Peacock.
Oh, Nick's. Jeez, this is a double dose of Nick horror.
Oh yeah, it's on Peacock.
Yeah.
I saw it today on the Twitter that Halloween is 42 years old now?
Yep, 1970. No, 44.
44 years old.
78.
Wasn't it 78? I think it
I
was
was off by
78 was
2
the first
years.
one. Yeah,
I love
44.
the first one.
Yeah, the
That's
first
such a good
one's
one.
really good.
Yeah.
First one's really good. But that'll be for the movie club on Friday.
So what was the question you asked Sipple before we talked to Schaefer? What was the question?
I said, are Nebraska fans smart enough to pick the next head coach?
That's not what you said.
I said,
how much will they matter?
How much does the fan popularity matter in this conversation?
And his answer was a lot.
It was a lot.
Okay, so some response. Zach says, Sipple's answer about fan opinion mattering a lot in this search is one major reason why I don't think Trev is the right person for the AD job. Another tweet coming in. This is from noted Wisconsin fan Kyle. Fans' feelings greater than wins and losses. And then there was one more. This was a text message from Johnny. If Mickey keeps winning, the only way to not hire Mickey is to land a coach with so much cachet that the fan base would be like, oh, okay, I totally understand that. Great get. We're talking Mike Gundy, Lane Kiffin type stuff. No middle of the road guy.
Urban Meyer
would do in this situation. This is coming from a guy who wants successful experience in the next hire. It's just the way I see it. I tend to side with Zach on this. The initial email that I read, if the fan opinion ultimately does matter. If it does, do they have the right leader in charge? I just don't know if you can allow that to sway you because of what I followed up with Sipple and said. Mickey, it's not like he is a 90%, supported hire. He would also have his detractors. It would be 50-50 with him too. And so I think no matter who the guy is, barring some out of left field, like incredible hire that none of us see coming, barring that, there's going to be fan consternation about all of it. It's either going to be, why didn't you hire Mickey? Or why did you hire Mickey? That's what it's going to be. He was the best you could do.
You can't use the last coaching search as your guide. The last coaching search was so pathetically easy. It wasn't even a search.
Mm-hmm.
We already knew what was going to happen, and it was going to have 99% fan support. So you had the best of all worlds. Not every coaching search. In fact, the vast majority of them don't go that way. And there's going to be an element of having to sell that particular hire. So yeah, don't let emotion guide this decision. And that's the tricky thing, isn't it? Because Mickey could be the next guy and be good at it.
I think he could, for sure.
But there's always going to be that cloud hanging over it of, well, did they just hire him because they got turned down by everyone else? Did they just hire him because he was the Nebraska guy? Did they just hire him because, well, they wanted to mitigate any of the fan negativity that would come from not hiring him? There's always going to be those questions. But at the end of the day, you can't be so wrapped up in worrying about what the fans say that it clouds your vision towards what eventually you want to be. Because at the end of the day, if these last few years have proven anything, Nebraska fans are like rubber bands. They bounce back. They spring back.
This season, I think, has shown that more than any of the seasons.
And whether it's Mickey, whether it's any other coach, if they start winning,
unless they get to the top 10 under Mike Riley, then they'll still be mad.
Stuff's going to run out the door. But I don't think you want to be prisoner of the divisiveness in the fan base with Peterson Callahan, or the divisiveness in the fan base that existed after Bo got fired, or actually before Bo got fired, when you started to have people, going against him, or the divisiveness in the fan base with Mike Riley, or the divisiveness in the fan base when things started going south with Frost. Those things are going to happen. When you lose, those things are going to happen. But you don't want that feeling or that emotion to drive this decision for fear of, oh man, we don't want to divide in the fan base, because winning is going to solve that. Winning's going to help solve that. And
No,
that
again,
ultimately is what you want. You want the winning. That will take care of the rest.
I will say, and I guess off top of that, Amazing Daniel says public perception is short-sighted. Trev will feel he's made the right hire, and the only public perception that matters is 2 to 3 years after the hire is made. I understand that point. And I understand what you're saying about winning. And we got another tweet from Ziggy. Says, you know what conjures up support real fast? Winning. That's true. But, I mean, I will never forget the 2016 season and how even as they started 7-0 and even as they got into the top 10, even though we knew that was not a top 10 team by the end of the year, there were still people just waiting to pounce as fast as they could if there were any signs that they weren't that good. So I guess that's where I disagree. Public support or public perception does matter. Because if a coach is on the hot seat from day one for whatever made-up reasons people want to have, it's going to be hard to get over that. Because that's when it starts affecting recruiting.
It is going to be hard, but
because it is still college football.
You can't be a prisoner of that.
No, for the record, I am not arguing he should follow whatever the fans want. I'm just saying
because you could end up making a wrong hire because of that.
I agree. I just don't think it's as easy as fan perception doesn't matter. It does because this is college sports. If this is pro sports doesn't matter. Do what you got to do. College sports, it matters.
It does,
for recruiting.
But that's where the Sir Winston Churchill oratory skills come into play, because that's when it's your job to sell the hire and to sell the attributes and to preach the patience and to do the things that your predecessors at this job, namely a couple of them, did a very poor job of doing. I mean, if it's true of what Sip said, if we're talking about a guy who's a great funeral director, well, he's going to be able to, calm the situation. It's going to be a test of his skills, no matter what. Yeah, the easy path would be to pick Mickey, just from the standpoint of it'll take less of that persuasion, but there's still going to be divide. Don't let it fool you. There's still going to be divide because, we're hearing from them. There are a lot of people out there that want an experienced coach. They want Nebraska to truly take this national, and they truly want to bring in the best possible candidate for this job, and they don't care what that person's affiliations are. And those are people that will be out there and will be vocal if the decision goes a different way.
One more thing before we talk to Schaefer. That's why if Mickey's candidacy is suddenly much more likely than we thought it was a month ago, we need to start judging like in-game decisions. Like
we should have been doing that anyway.
Correct. But like timeouts, and like that's why we're not going to make a big deal of it. That's why the slip up yesterday was pretty interesting. It's like because you just can't do that type of stuff. If you're going to be the head guy, you can't do that type of stuff.
Mike Schaefer will join us next, and we'll find out what's this poll question he asked that triggered some folks.
All right.
And it's kind of on this subject, too, on 1620 The Zone.
Hey, everyone. Josh Peterson here for my dear friends at Kugler Vision. We're coming upon almost 5 years since I went in for my first ever consultation. A game-changing moment in my life. It could be a game-changing moment in your life as well. We talk so much at this time of year about, gifts to people. Maybe your significant other, maybe their eyes have been struggling for years like I did. Glasses, contacts, whatever it is. Maybe yours are doing the same thing. Give them a call at 402-558-2211 or visit their website, kuglervision.com. Find out about the procedures that they offer by scheduling a consultation. You'll hear all the time about LASIK. It's in all the commercials. It's in all the awards. And it's an important one. Of course, many people do need LASIK. A few of my friends who have had their procedures done, I think all of them had LASIK. But there are 6 other procedures that they offer there at Kugler Vision, depending on what is going on with your eyes. Find out about them. Find out about the very manageable payment plans that they have as well, and ditch the glasses, ditch the contacts for good, and get ready for a brand new year with brand new vision. 402-558-2211. Give them a call there or visit them online at kuglervision.com.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time Saving Traffic Center. Currently no major wrecks to avoid across the metro. Getting reports of delays on L Street for both directions between 108th and 90th. If you're north on the JFK, delays from Q Street to L Street. If you're south on the JFK, delays from I-80 to L Street. And then it looks like we're seeing some delays out in the area of 204th and Q Street as well. I'm Mike Neville. This time saving traffic is brought to you by Lanahaw Nurseries.
At Lanahaw, our homegrown trees boast the most vibrant colors of fall: reds, yellows, and oranges. Shop our garden center today for the best selection of plant material and seasonal decor. When you think fall, think Lanahaw, 192nd and Center.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power and savings with style. Not to mention top tech to help keep you connected. Plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years, with a hybrid or electric vehicle built for every driver. Seriously, dear gas prices? Do you really think you could stand in our way? Think again. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
See your independently owned Omaha Metro Toyota dealers. Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Corwin Toyota of Bellevue.
Cubby's supports the PACE program with Raise Some Dough. For every large pizza sold at Cubby's in the Old Market, Cubby's gives $1 to the Police Athletic League, serving at-risk and disadvantaged inner-city children with athletic and educational programs. PACE has over 5,800 program participants. The league reaches kids that would not normally be able to participate in athletics like soccer and baseball due to financial situations and family dynamics. PACE wants to give every kid the opportunity at athletics and a healthy and safe environment. If you'd like to support PACE too, go to paceomaha.org.
This is Scott Schultz from Host Coffee. 2022 marks our 50th year and business has never been better. We are rapidly growing and adding new customers, which means we need new route drivers and service technicians. We have new jobs for those new to the industry with little or no experience, and new careers that require knowledge in the coffee and vending world. There's a good chance we have just what you need in a new job. Host Coffee offers competitive pay and understands the work-life balance. Apply today at hostcoffee.net/careers and join our team.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Mike Shave's having some phone issues right now, but we'll get him on here as soon as we can.
Jet says, fan opinion being big on a coaching search scares the hell out of me and gives me no hope. Jeff, on the other hand, says the fan support didn't matter with Tennessee be where they are today with Schiano as their head coach back in 2018. I know it's all hindsight, but an interesting example of what a fan base can do.
Yeah, but that was a fan base ginned up by a moron who was spreading fake information.
Correct. And also
by claiming that Greg Schiano was, intimately involved in the whole Sandusky scandal, which was an absolute lie.
Holy crap, really?
Yeah. Yeah. And now that guy has a national radio show. Yeah. And he's on a national college football television pregame show.
Yep, which I don't watch. The other thing about that too is like the first few years after that were horrible. And there's no doubt that Schiano would have done a better job than Butch Jones. Now, would they be better in 2022 had they had shit? No, that's something we can't answer. Right. It's impossible. I know they would have been better early on. Would they be better long term? We don't know the answer to that question. And that ultimately, man, that is the thing. And who was it that we had on? Oh, it was last week when we had Brett McMurphy on. He brought up the best example, and the one that I often think of when talking about interim coaches and pros and cons of going with, and I don't know if I want to keep saying mob rule because that there's like an implication that makes it sound like if we don't get this, everything's going to be hell. But they wanted Bill Stewart. West Virginia lost Rich Rodriguez following the 2007 season. Rich Rod decided to go to Michigan. They promoted Bill Stewart for the bowl game, which is crazy to think, John, that they went into the bowl game and they still didn't have their full-time head coach. I guess Nebraska did the same thing.
It was a different time back then.
It really was. Bill Stewart, what do? They beat Oklahoma, an Oklahoma team that many thought should have played for the national championship, in place of or versus LSU instead of Ohio State. They have a great win in the Fiesta Bowl. Everybody wants Bill Stewart. What do? They hired Bill Stewart. Then Bill Stewart kind of stinks up the joint.
He stunk up the joint.
They got worse.
He wasn't ready.
It was a program and a fan base that reacted very quickly to the good feelings and the good vibes. And this will be different if it's Mickey Joseph. Of course it will, because he will have had a long runway, 9 or 10 games as an interim head coach.
9 games.
So I think if he gets to 10, I think he's the guy. But nine games, and Bill Stewart just had the one. But 9. That's always, in my opinion, like the scary scenario of like, just don't know if you want to follow that just because you were happy for a few weeks. You got to think 5 years down the road, not 5 months down the road.
Well, let's welcome in Mike Schaefer of Husker 24/7 Sports, Husker247.com. Schaefer, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, guys. Sorry, I was just extolling the virtues of avoiding sweet potato fries for the rest of your life.
Good take.
That may be coming up in dumb debates later today.
Nice.
Maybe coming up in dumb debates. And speaking of dumb debates and this subject that we were just on, you asked a highly controversial poll question because it got people triggered. That reads, if you are concerned at this point in the Nebraska coaching search, which option best describes why you feel that way? Are you worried that Nebraska goes on the cheap? Are you worried that Nebraska is being told no a lot? Are you worried that Nebraska is settling on Mickey Joseph? Or are you worried that it won't matter? And worried that it won't matter is winning right now, 38% of the vote. Explain, what is worried that it won't matter?
Well, just worried that no matter who Nebraska hires, they're in this cycle of mediocrity till the end of time.
Okay. All right. Interesting that one is winning right now, because maybe that's just an overall negativity in the fan base. But I'll be curious, what do you think, Schaefer? Should fan opinion, how much should that weigh in to the ultimate decision?
How much should fan opinion weigh in on the ultimate decision?
Yes.
I mean, I think in an ideal world, your next coach is supported by a large percentage of the fan base, but ultimately, like, whether the fans are happy or not doesn't dictate whether the hire is going to be a success. I mean, we've seen cases where a fan base was overwhelmed with what had happened and it didn't work out, in cases where people were surprised by a hire and, it turns out to go pretty well. I mean, I don't think anybody in Tennessee was thrilled about Josh Heupel. And obviously right now they're undefeated and things are looking pretty good in Knoxville. So you just never know how things are exactly going to work out. And as I try to mention as often as I can, there will never be a more popular hire than what Nebraska made in 2017, and there will never be a more spectacular failure in Nebraska football history. So it doesn't matter whether the fans are completely on board or not, because that doesn't predict what's going to happen in the future. And so I think what matters is that Trev Alberts feels like this individual has the ability to make Nebraska football competitive again at a high level. And ultimately, if he thinks that the fan base will just go along with it because they don't have any other alternative, and if that coach starts winning, he's going to win over all the people that are skeptical anyway. So I don't think that Trev Alberts has to think a lot about the fan base as he's making this decision.
How much does it affect recruiting, do you think, if the fans are not behind a hire early on versus if they are? Like, I think the latter doesn't. I mean, I guess it can help recruiting, but I guess does being overall pessimistic as a fan base at large, can that affect things in a negative way?
Is there a coach where we think the fan base is going to be overall pessimistic? Like, I guess, and maybe I'm an idiot, but I sort of just assume Nebraska fans are going to accept, begrudgingly in some cases, but accept whoever the next person is and support them at a large enough clip that this wouldn't be a real issue. I mean, I don't know who could be hired that would be such a a turnoff for people that they wouldn't be able to get behind it. I mean, individually, sure, there's names where certain coaches might be a lightning rod, one way or the other, but not like that there's a person out there that collectively would get people to root against the program that's their favorite team. So I don't know that person exists. I think whoever gets hired is going to enjoy some level of support over the middle. But it's going to ultimately be how quickly does that turn against them, or how quickly do they add more support?
I wish I could answer that. I don't know, because there's a part of me that thinks that, and maybe this is just me being cynical, that, for those who really want Mickey to have the job, if it's anybody else, it really doesn't matter. And especially if Mickey doesn't get the job and Mickey isn't retained or doesn't want to be retained, that brings with it a certain level of angst that would be more amplified than in a quote unquote normal circumstance.
Yeah, it's entirely possible, but without knowing who would be on that next coach's staff, I don't want to make it seem like Mickey isn't unique to the Nebraska fan experience, but we've seen popular assistant coaches around here before. Like there's going to be another Mickey Joseph, whether it's Mickey Joseph or not. That's just how these things work. Like there's going to be another assistant coach that's going to have people fired up. There's going to be another coach that's known for his ability to recruit or has put guys in the NFL. I mean, the reason that Mickey has captivated people, I think, as well as he has, is he works in direct opposite of the entire Scott Frost experience. He got up there after the very first press conference when they got blitzed by Oklahoma and took every ounce of blame, even though no one felt like he deserved that blame, but he took it all, and that was refreshing for people. He's been blunt. That's refreshing for people. He took away the black shirts. That makes some fans very happy. So there's certain things that he's done that's emboldened him to a segment of the fan base that really, really likes him. But no matter whoever the head coach is, there's going to be a really popular assistant coach, because that's just how this works. I mean, there's always going to be that person that people will flock to for one reason or another, or that we'll cover in the media in a slightly different way than we do the other assistant coaches. And then that will cause some sort of excitement too. Like these things are all cyclical. I mean, not to go Russ Cole here and say the time is a flat circle, but we've experienced a lot of this before, and we're going to experience it again.
Schaefer, looking back to the weekend and the commitment by Malachi Coleman, the quote, God, it was even asked about it at the press conference yesterday. I wonder how those quotes that he had landed to you. And I guess, what do you make of the timing of this commitment? Because as Jack Mitchell has reminded us a few times, it was originally scheduled to be in December. He didn't have to move it up. There is no full-time head coach just yet at Nebraska. So I guess, what do you make of all those things going into one pot?
I believe that his commitment was scheduled when Scott Frost was still the head coach anyway. So I don't know that it relates to Mickey one way or the other, that it was on October 22nd. Originally, it was going to be October 15th. Then it was moved to October 22nd. The reason I think that it was now instead of December is that I think it was apparent to the Colemans for a while where Malachi was going to go. And so the rest of this was kind of just window dressing. So I think that, the commitment timing certainly looks good for Mickey Joseph, and having a high profile recruit like that talks as highly of Mickey Joseph as he does certainly is good too for him. But I don't know that, Trev Alberts can afford to sort of look at that and be like, okay, well, a couple high profile recruits like Mickey Joseph, so we're going to make him the head coach. So I don't know how much it matters. I mean, it's so weird to be in this situation where we're talking about this long of a coaching search that I think we have to just sort of address everything as it comes up and try to weigh what we can. But I don't think this recruiting class and the people that are tied specifically to Mickey Joseph, and there's a few of them, I don't think that's going to be a big factor in the overall decision.
Speaking of recruiting, there was one other thing, and we did not play it yesterday because I wanted to save it for this interview, from Mickey's press conference. And he was discussing what their plan was. And the question was about, all the places they had visited. And he talked about JUCOs. And he specifically talked about recruiting offensive linemen from junior colleges over getting them out of the portal. I'm going to play this audio and we'll get your reaction on the other side. But here was Mickey Joseph yesterday on his preference of JUCO O linemen versus portal offensive linemen.
I think the JUCO part is really important because you're getting the kid coming out of system. You get a kid coming out of portal. He's transferring for a reason. JUCO kid, you're recruiting him just like a high school kid. But a portal kid, he's transferring. There's a reason he's transferring. So you got to do more homework on a portal kid than you have to do a JUCO kid. JUCO kid, you can go to coach and say, hey, you've been having it for 2 years. Tell me about it. But when a portal kid, now we got to go all the way back to high school to see what's the problem with this kid. Why is he transferring?
Thoughts, Schaefer?
Yeah, it's interesting because the type of linemen Nebraska is going to be chasing in the portal aren't transferring because they've had issues at the school they're at. They're transferring because they're at Sacred Heart or they're at North Dakota State or, they're looking for a level jump. They're looking for an opportunity to play in the NFL. And so I find that kind of fascinating, though the base discussion of portal versus JUCO, I totally understand where he's coming from because you're assuming that a guy going in the portal, there's a reason that he's departing, and you have to figure out what that reason is. I mean, I had a coach tell me, that's at Nebraska, that basically part of their job when they learn that somebody's in the portal is to figure out the narrative behind why that person is there, and then determine whether that's created, whether that's a fair narrative, or whether that's completely unfair. So there's certainly that aspect that's going to go on regardless of position. They've made offers with junior college offensive linemen. I talked with the coach at Hutchinson Community College for Larry Johnson III, a guy they just offered on Sunday night, I believe. And he's a really intriguing guy at 6'7", 345 pounds, can play, multiple spots on the offensive line. Showed up physically kind of ready to go at the junior college level. But I don't know if that means he's someone that you could just plug in and play at a place like Nebraska. I mean, I think part of the value of getting someone from the portal is that the jump for them isn't as severe as it is going from the Jayhawks offense. So you're looking at a couple different things there. But I do think what he's trying to get to with the idea of trying to figure out why someone transferred, I think that's very real. And I think that's, regardless of position and regardless of the school of which they're leading.
That said, he was talking specifically about offensive linemen. Is there a difference in terms of experience or the caliber of player that they could potentially get if he decides to use the JUCOs more for quick fix offensive linemen versus the portal?
It all comes down to hit rate, success rate, and development. I mean, I don't know that I can name off a lot of really successful junior college offensive linemen that have appeared in Nebraska in the last 8 seasons. I mean, the last one I can think of that was a slam dunk starter was
Yoshi
Hardrick, and then you had Matt Finnan in there. You had Chongo Condolo. I mean, you had some guys.
Who was the kid who played ended up going to the Saints?
Is that Ricky Henry?
No.
Oh, you're talking about like back in the Callahan,
yes,
like mid-aughts.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Carl Nix.
Carl Nix, wasn't he a JUCO?
Might have been.
He might have been, but
I think Carl
again,
Nix was a JUCO.
We're talking about.
But yeah, you're right. It's going back a few years.
Junior college football versus what is available right now. I mean, so it's not inconceivable that you could go and get a starting offensive lineman from the junior college ranks.
Yeah,
it's just not something I've seen happen a lot for Nebraska in recent memory. And Yoshi Hardrick is the single best example of in the time of which I've covered the team.
Nix actually started at New Mexico. Well, I shouldn't say started, but he started to play, or his first school was New Mexico State. Then he went to Hartnell College, which was a community college.
Then he went to Nebraska.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, we're talking 2005 here.
Yeah,
so.
different era.
Yep.
Hey, what do you think of the season next year, beginning on the road at Minnesota? How fun is that going to be?
I love it. I don't have any qualms whatsoever of starting the season off on the road, starting it in conference, starting it on a Thursday. I do not care. I am not. I'm not someone who's upset by this. I'm not someone who thinks the Big Ten's always out to schedule Nebraska unfavorably compared to is contemporary.
Okay, come on, Bill Moose. You know, his name is Bill Moose. You can call him out by name.
And all the people in my mentions today.
Oh yeah.
The very first thing I saw on our message board after this came out was that Iowa avoids Michigan and Ohio State again for the 2023 schedule. So, I think everyone's going to welcome 2024 when all the existing agreements get blown up and you start over from scratch, and we see how it goes. But I'm fine with it. I kind of love the idea. If it's not Mickey Joseph, Nebraska's next head coach's first home game is the third game of the season against Northern Illinois. I don't know. I just find that kind of humorous.
We love laughter.
We do love laughter. Live, love, laugh.
And as I pointed it out earlier, Schaefer, you start with 2 road games. It means you get a ton of home games to finish up the year in the last 10. That's awesome. Positive, boys.
Look at you and the silver lining. I like it.
Yeah, that was exactly how I viewed it. They get a mini bye before Colorado. That's great.
Yeah, that's nice. Plus, you get to eat, eat in hotels, and you get.
Sure. Oh yeah, they have the Juicy Lucy's were invented up there. I tried them last year. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go to Colorado and get some chewables.
Schaefer, what do you think about sponsoring the Unsportsmanlike Conduct and what is it called? LNK Today.
Jack and Friends.
Yeah. What do you think about Husker 24/7 sponsoring our trip? Want to be a title sponsor?
What I guess what's the value for Husker 24/7?
We're gonna say the name of your website 1,000 times. What do you mean? What's the value?
Why would we sell him that? Mike Schaefer's an original Wang Nachos. Why wouldn't we just invite him along?
I mean, we can, but I'm just saying, like, it could be brought to you by Husker 24/7 Sports.
Yeah, I guess I can pitch it. I got a meeting on the schedule with my boss on Friday. I can be like, hey, how do we feel about spending money to send Brunts myself in BC
and
out, and then also spending money to be a sponsor on radio programs that we all do free interviews for throughout the week.
See?
Wow, he dropped the free card on us.
I mean,
hey, I'm coming on your podcast. John went on the pod for free.
And this is promotion for the website, Husker 24/7.
Yeah, and the crystal ball.
And the
composite pole.
Yeah, and all of those great Super Sixes I've given you over the years.
Yeah. You scratch our back, we scratch yours.
And I'm funny.
And Nick is a person.
Okay, that you just ruined the whole bit right there.
It's
I mean, Nick doesn't come up a lot on the site, and I think that's fine and fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably not a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
But we are thinking, if we can, to take Wang Nachos up to the.
Yeah, you'll be there, won't you?
Up to Minneapolis.
I think the first return for road games for me after I think I'm sitting out all of 2022 is going to be the Thursday Minnesota game, and then I plan on being in Colorado too. So
nice.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm more than happy to say Husker 24/7 on your show. I just don't know that my bosses in Nashville are going to be real fired up to sponsor it.
It's an internet website. There's so much money in the internet these days.
Josh,
I know we're just rolling in it. We're all Scrooge McDuck diving into our pool.
Oh, I know you are.
I'm glad you dropped.
I've seen the
Scrooge
kegerator
McDuck.
at your house. I know what we're talking about.
Yeah, it works now. It's great.
Awesome.
Good.
Awesome.
Good.
Awesome.
LSU Rob says, are we just going to skip over the fact John just called edibles chewables?
Yeah, he said chewables.
Chewables, edibles. I don't know what they call them. I don't do them.
They're not Flintstones
I don't
gummies.
do them.
I don't do them.
I think it would take the edge off. I think it'd be good for you to try, John. I think it would be.
I think it would be good for you to run out in traffic right now.
Jeez.
I can introduce you to a place in Lincoln if you want to learn more about chewables/edibles.
It's so weird. It's just kind of like legal. And nobody says anything. It's just kind of like there.
What? We should out these people and get them arrested.
I got a text from somebody like, yeah, they're actually selling the real stuff in Omaha now. And I said, what? Where? And they told me. Huh, it's very strange. What a time to be alive.
And they're allowed to do this.
I guess so. I don't know what's happening.
What is this? Is everything turning into Biden where we just automatically just start doing things?
That's pretty
paying
cool.
off Nick's college loans.
Yeah.
Now the chewables are full strength.
Yep. Chewables.
Chewables.
Next thing you know, we're all going to be paying $200 a gallon for gas. It's chaos, ladies and gentlemen. Chaos.
I'll run to work.
You run?
I do.
Congrats on Boston.
Schaefer, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, Schaefer.
Yeah, sorry, it seemed like I got switched over to a different station in Omaha there at the end, but it sounds like 1620's back.
Yeah, we're here.
We're here. We haven't left.
We're here.
We haven't left. Thanks, Schaefer.
Bye, Schaefer.
Good luck, guys.
Mike Schaefer of Husker 24/7.
There was a comment on the YouTube page from Trevor. Mentions a radio station in Lincoln. Says they're pushing Mickey for head coach, but at least we can still count on 1620 to poop on the coaches. Who's pooping? Now, I know I have an emoji.
No one's pooping on the coaches, but
no one's pooping.
So we have to come up with a candidate right now and got to be all in on it, or do we continue? Listen,
Let's do it, Nick.
I said from the beginning, ask me in November. Ask me in November. I'm going to let this one play out and we'll see. I haven't said yay or nay. I am bringing up valid concerns, though.
John wants to vibe it out.
No.
I don't want to vibe it out. I
Wants
want
to
to think
wait.
it out. I want to observe. I want to see what happens. And then,
He wants a chewable.
because the decision doesn't have to be made today. It just doesn't.
Text on the 402.
And by the way, if it had to be made today because Mickey's like, oh, I got a better offer, I got to go right now, then he wasn't a good candidate to begin with. But guess what? He's not going to do that. So
John guarantees it.
So we're fine. We're going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine.
Now play it, Nick. I'd say 1620 is more realistic than that Lincoln station. That's cool. That's nice. Thank you for saying that. And then Scary Gary says the Mickey or Else crowd is the vocal minority, not nearly as large as of a group as is being portrayed on the show. And hey, maybe that's true. That's true. That could be true.
What was say that again?
Basically saying that it's a vocal minority that wants Mickey or nobody else. It's not as large as we're making it out to be.
Well, we did a poll question on last week.
I know. Poll questions. What are polls?
I demand a recount.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, typical libs, always wanting a recount.
Oh, my vote didn't count.
That's not true. That's not
so
how
my
not
vote
true.
didn't
What
count.
world are you living in?
That's not what happened.
Yes, it was notably the libs in 2020 demanding recounts.
I didn't. They didn't let me into
You
the
did
poll
not
station.
want President B.
The practice of preaching patience is fine. Didn't we see
Fine with
what
four.
happened last time when everyone just jumped in? Yours truly included. I'm not pointing fingers.
all
I'm
in on
pointing,
Frost.
I'm pointing the finger, not pointing the thumb. I'm pointing the finger
No,
at
you're
me.
you're pointing
I am
the
pointing
thumb.
the thumb
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the finger. I'm pointing both at me.
It's got to be your hand.
But we were all like,
finger and a thumb.
Frost or nothing, Frost or nothing.
On his forehead.
I'm gonna let this play out. But I'm also going to ask valid questions. And because Mickey right now is the only known candidate, actual known candidate. All the other names that we've been throwing out there, whether it's in conversation or in Not Frost versus the World, we haven't heard from any of these people that they're actually interested. We know that Mickey is interested.
Correct.
So he is the one known candidate.
Correct.
I'll bring up valid. I'm sure there'll be valid concerns with all of them.
That's the thing. There is. That's fine.
And just because the team might be performing better, and even if the team wins this week, that does not erase the concerns that I had going in. The fact that guys never done it before. And he's right now doing the easy part of coaching. Coaching and getting ready for games is the easy part. The stuff that happens the other 8.5 months out of the year, that's the hard part. And that's the part he hasn't done yet. Doesn't mean he couldn't do it if tasked to do it. But
he could do a very good
because
job.
he hasn't had the experience doing it, it raises concerns as to whether or not he would be the better choice over whoever else might.
Plus, I think, and this is, I think, a very fair critique. People look at the best programs in the country right now, and they say none of those programs would do this. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, think of Alabama staff last year, or Alabama staff this year. They have a former college and professional head coach as their offensive coordinator. They've had former head coaches as like analysts. Nebraska, before they hired Whipple, the last time they had their OC open, they went and hired a guy who was working at a credit union. It's almost like you're participating in a different sport. So I understand Alabama wouldn't do this. Ohio State wouldn't do this. I get it. Though, I guess to be fair, it's not like Ryan Day was some head coach somewhere. He'd been an interim for 3 games when Ohio State gave him the job. 3. and he's worked out extremely well.
Yeah, there are examples where it can work.
Sure, Dabo.
But that doesn't mean you can't still have. I mean, yeah, for every example you can point out.
Well, I gave Bill Stewart, but I
where
just
it
gave
worked,
Dabo.
But you can point out others that didn't go so well.
And that's the thing too. That's why whatever they do, I'll judge it when they do it. But if they hire Bill O'Brien, proven coach, he's coached in the Big Ten. Well, there's also been other proven coaches who have sucked. So that's the thing. There's not a guarantee. Nothing is a guarantee. Nothing's a guarantee in life.
Dropkick Murphys bring the This Machine Theater Tour to the Holland Center November 2nd. Enter to wear a pair to the show.
Enter to win a pair.
Enter to win a pair to the show. A pair of what?
Tickets.
The aforementioned tickets.
Oh. But there's no
Actually,
tickets.
Nick, it doesn't ever mention
It never
tickets.
mentions
Yeah,
tickets.
I'm just now seeing that.
No.
Did you write this?
I did not write this.
Okay.
Well, you can rewrite it.
Yeah.
But you can enter to wear a pair to the show now.
Or win a pair.
And if you win a pair, I mean, it could be a nice pair. 1620 the zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
I'm going to bury a take in here. S'mores are overrated.
Whoa! What kind of a monster are you? Explain yourself. Show your work, Connor.
Melted marshmallow, guys?
Delicious.
No. Not really. Not really at all. Why? Marshmallow is not a good thing. Marshmallows aren't good.
The Connor Happer Show. Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast presented by Bellevue Berry and Pumpkin Ranch from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly cloudy and mild into late afternoon with the temperatures in the upper 50s. Mainly cloudy tonight, low temperatures in the mid 40s, and still mainly cloudy on Thursday, maybe a spotty shower, high in the upper 50s. I am Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time Saving Traffic Center. Currently no major wrecks to avoid the cross of the metro. Getting reports of delays on L Street for both directions between 108th and 90th. If you're north on the JFK, delays from Q Street to L Street. If you're south on the JFK, delays from I-80 to L Street. And then it looks like we're seeing some delays out in the area of 204th and Q Street as well. I'm Mike Neville.
This time-saving traffic is brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery.
Celebrate the Nebraska Lottery's 3 decades of funding, fortune, and fun by playing our new 30th anniversary jackpot scratch ticket with a $300,000 top prize. It's our salute to our beneficiaries and players. Top prize odds, 1 in 128,000.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power and savings with style. Not to mention top tech to help keep you connected. Plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. With a hybrid or electric vehicle built for every driver. Seriously, dear gas prices? Do you really think you could stand in our way? Think again. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimate CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
See your independently owned Omaha Metro Toyota dealers. Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Corwin Toyota of Bellevue.
Hi, this is Kathy Canoyer. 'Tis the season at Glass House Market with Canoyer Garden Center. We'd like to invite you to come shop our stunning holiday market where you'll find a perfect gift for that special someone or the Christmas decor you've been wanting. Join our family for the open house November 5th and 6th to help us celebrate the holiday season. Glass House Market located within Canoyer Garden Center on 66th Street between Cornhusker and Highway 370 in Papillion.
At Canoyer Garden Center, everybody's got a green thumb.
With almost everything in life, you have choices. You can pick a lot, a little, or somewhere in the middle. So shouldn't there be an internet plan that's just as clever? One that allows you to add TV or home automation whenever. That's why Cox now offers flexible internet plans, giving you all the services you desire at nothing you don't require. Additional services can be added at then current regular rates. All services subject to residential customer service agreement and acceptable use policy found at cox.com/policies. Restrictions apply.
At Sid Dillon Chevrolet, we prioritize you and your vehicle needs.
Visit our dealerships to shop inventory or to order your new vehicle. Shop online at SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
Dropkick Murphys, Acoustic, This Machine Theater Tour, November 2nd at Holland Center. Special guests, Jamie Wyatt and Jesse Ahern. Tickets at ticketomaha.com. Presented by Omaha Performing Arts and Mammoth Live.
It's Halloween at Genesis Health Clubs. Join with no enrollment fee, no contract, and save 20% per month every month. Hurry, just 5 days left. It may be the spookiest time of the year, but starting a new fitness routine doesn't have to be scary. Genesis Health Clubs has top-of-the-line equipment and the absolute best personal trainers, tennis professionals, and group fitness instructors to help keep you motivated and headed towards your fitness goals. Plus, relax in luxury afterwards with saunas, steam rooms, and fluffy towel service. Whatever your fitness needs, Genesis is here to help every step of the way, and there's nothing scary about that. This Halloween, join Genesis Health Club with no enrollment fee, no contract, and save 20% per month every single month. But hurry, this offer will end before you have a chance to count your Halloween candy. It ends on Halloween and won't extend. Just 5 days left. Go to GenesisHealthClubs.com before Halloween and get no enrollment fee, no contract, and save 20% per month every month. 5 days left. This offer will not extend.
Make the right call, fans. The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Where's my wood? This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone.
I'm going to have a chewable.
About damn time. Hey, we got him.
We got chewables. All right. Oh, you know what? We haven't done?
Fire for football.
No, we haven't done Fired Up for Football. And now that we got our drops page back, we can do... Took a little too long there, Nick.
College football as you knew it, as your fathers knew it, as your grandfathers knew it, and definitely as your great-grandfathers knew it, is dying. But before it dies, let's enjoy what may be the last season of sort of, kind of normal college football. The kind where there are multiple conferences. The kind where there are at least 4 teams. Okay, 3 teams that have a realistic shot at the title. The kind where the players played for the name on the front of their jersey and not for a paycheck where they have to pay Social Security taxes.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say Nebraska on the front of their jerseys.
Depressed about the state of college football? Have no fear. The NFL is here. And who didn't love last season? Tom Brady quit for 5 weeks. The Cowboys and 49ers played in a playoff game.
That won't happen
and
again.
the Rams won the Super Bowl.
And that won't happen again either.
Friends of the program, lend us your ears, for it is time to get fired up for football.
You don't think Dallas could be like the 5 seed and play at San Francisco as the 4? Are you chalking up the AF or the NFC West to the Seahawks?
I'm just ignoring you.
No, I was being serious. You think Seattle's going to win the division?
No.
So then Dallas could play at San Francisco. So I don't think Dallas is going to win the division.
So Ack isn't going to break another wrist or something?
I hope not. Thank God they have the defense they do. I wasn't even trolling. You said they're not going to play in the playoffs. I kind of find that very likely. I would bet more on Dallas playing there than I would Dallas playing at Seattle.
Finger licking good special.
Bingo. That's what I would.
But if those fingers are broken, Michael, it's hard to hold a football.
You say that I like murdering things. Meanwhile, you just want everyone injured all the time.
Just the Dallas Cowboys
and Tom Brady
and Ohio State that one time.
And Ohio State that one time.
And not. What do you mean Ohio State?
Was it Ohio State? Oklahoma.
I don't know. Oh, Oklahoma.
That was
Oklahoma.
a long time ago.
My bad.
Yeah, you probably rooted for Trey Lance to get hurt.
Well, it's time to get fired up for football.
I'm fired up. Woo! Nick's fired. Nick keeps watching games.
I'm sorry. Crazy. I'll stop watching games.
No, I've told Nick all offseason. I told you need to watch more games, and you're following through. I'm very proud of you.
Dare I say the game of the week in the NFL might be Thursday night.
It is.
If it's not, it's close.
Dude, this game has a lot of drama's not the right word.
It's got a lot of narratives attached to it.
Yeah, because if Tampa loses, they're still in a bad division, so they'll probably be fine, but it's just a big warning sign if they lose this one.
Exactly.
Baltimore needs to pick up Just way too up and down. Very inconsistent.
So Ravens at
That
Bucks.
Browns game was weirdly close.
It was weirdly close. Thank you, Nick.
There are a couple of Power 5 games. I Chris Berman myself through this segment. Couple of Power 5 games on Thursday night.
That was Chris Berman.
Vatek at North Carolina State, and then a late game. So there'll be late Thursday night football between Utah and Washington State.
That's good because I'm calling soccer tomorrow, so it'll be nice to have a little football to watch
there's
late into the
something
evening
there.
when I get home. Yeah.
Friday, nobody cares.
Oh, gross. Holy crap. Yale at Columbia? At least they'll be on during the show.
Saturday.
Bunch of nerds.
Mm-hmm.
Big noon kickoff. Maybe a couple weeks ago, this game looked kind of interesting, but and I know Penn State's coming off a fairly convincing win over
Minnesota's
Minnesota.
not very good anymore.
Yeah, they're not very good, and neither is Penn State. But Ohio State has struggled.
They have.
In the Happy Valley, but those games were at night. This is Big Noon Kickoff.
You seen the spread for this game? Guess the spread for this game. And I'll look at the updated line, but I know what it was earlier today.
17.5.
Wow, you are really close. Last I saw it was 15.5, and right now it is 15.5.
Oh,
nice job. Nice job.
Notre Dame at Syracuse.
Kind of interesting.
Oklahoma at Iowa State.
That's interesting. Like, what's going on with old Matt Campbell? You want to talk about someone
What
who
about
has
what's
lost
going
his
on
shine?
with old, I almost said Brett Bielema.
I know. I could tell that you did.
What's his
Bielman.
name?
Nope, not him.
Why can't I think of his name?
You incepted me into not knowing his name either.
I don't know what that means, but
like Inception.
Oklahoma's head coach. Bad movie.
Great movie. What is his name? This is annoying me. And I'm not going to.
I can't remember. I can't remember his name.
No, we don't want to know who it is, Nick. We'll figure it out.
No, we have to figure this out.
You're looking it up for me because I feel like I should.
Let's get back to fired up for football.
No, I have to sit here and think about this.
B?
God dang it!
I got it.
Not Will Shields.
I got it.
It's not Will
I'm
Shields.
just now thinking of random football names.
Let me know when you want me to tell you.
Shut up, Nick.
Face.
I know. I can't too.
God, I hate it when this happens.
Defensive coordinator for Clemson. They won national championships with him.
Oh my God, this is so frustrating.
Why are we both having the exact same brain fart at the exact same time?
Unbelievable.
Fired up for not knowing people's names.
Or like farted out for football.
Barry Switzer. I don't know.
Who is it?
Venables.
Brent Venables. I cannot think of his name.
Good Lord.
That's how forgettable Oklahoma is this
It's
year.
a fun last
Very
name.
forgettable.
2:30.
Well, the game.
Florida at Georgia.
That wasn't the one I was talking about, but yeah, that game's there.
Obviously, you all know Nebraska's playing Illinois.
Hey!
On ABC, by the way, this could be one of the last KETV games we see for a while.
Is it still plus 7.5, Josh?
Yes. Well, it was a couple hours ago, but yes. Northwestern and Iowa in the grossest college football game of the entire season.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State at Kansas State.
That one, man. Did we ever get any news on Adrian?
No.
What was Fox doing on Saturday night?
I don't know.
Did they just get turned
Apparently,
away?
Brando was waxing poetic
Right
about
on
something
Twitter.
and didn't bother to follow up on what happened to Adrian.
So here's my question. Did they go down and ask Kansas State and they just got turned away and they decided never to bring it up on the air? Or did they just
Bill
not
Snyder's
ask?
not the coach anymore.
I know. So stupid. So stupid. Tonight games we go. While you listen to Bigger No Reaction with Ravi Lula and yours truly on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg, you can also watch
Kentucky at Tennessee.
Dude, this game, massive for Tennessee. If they win this game,
Yeah.
there is a very realistic chance that they are going to the playoff regardless of what happens versus Georgia. If they lose this
That's
game,
possible.
if they lose this game, this goes from an all-time season to a good season and progress, but the dream dies because they're not going to go to the playoff if they lose.
Well, what if they lose this game but then
Beat
win
Georgia?
the rest of them?
I guess I just don't think they're going to beat Georgia. But I'd love to be wrong.
I think they can beat Georgia.
I think they can. I just don't think they will.
ABC 6:30. Ooh.
What's this one? Oh,
Michigan State at Michigan.
I'm calling it now. Michigan going to roll. They're not going to play with their food this time. They are done playing with their food in this matchup. They're going to kill them.
I think the team from Michigan is going to win.
Nice take, Nick. They're going to kill them.
You know what? Oh, well, the second best night game is?
I'm hoping we're on the same path here, and it's kind of like what we talked about a few minutes ago with Tampa and Baltimore. Is it Ole Miss, Texas A&M?
Mhm.
Yeah, I want to watch that game because you want to talk about a matchup where if A&M loses, I mean, I really think that we will start having are they going to pony up and fire him now?
Mm-hmm.
Which would just be so funny.
Now that's on SEC Network,
SEC.
so hopefully you have the SEC Network.
Indeed. Stanford UCLA at 9:30?
No.
Oh, come on.
No.
It's one of those when you're falling asleep in your bed.
No.
You got it on?
No.
No.
I'll be watching the World Series. Hopefully the World Series goes long.
At 1 a.m., you'll be watching the World Series?
I'll be in bed by then.
That's what I'm saying. You watch it while you're in bed. Do you not have a TV in your room?
Yeah, but the wife's not going to want the
My
TV on.
wife!
If you fall asleep with the
Especially to
World Series on, do you have World
UCLA
Series
and
dreams?
Stanford. I mean, UCLA is fine. Stanford.
Yeah, I know.
This is a D.
D? Whoa,
Yes.
D.
Well,
Hot D?
Think about
That's
it.
done for a while.
It's
D?
Yes, there's a couple of ranked games in there, but one of them is Ohio State, Penn State, which would probably be a blowout.
Am I grading it on a curve because Nebraska's playing in a really fascinating matchup that I'm like super jacked for?
When I grade, I don't usually factor the Nebraska game in.
Well, neither do I because they've usually been bad, but I'm just kind of intrigued. I'm going to give it a C+.
No biases, Josh.
No, I got to have biases, Nick. B or a C+. C+.
I'm going to go D.
Okay.
So it's C-? Is that what that
yeah, C minus somewhere in there.
NFL early games. I haven't looked at the map yet.
I got it for you, fam. We got Pittsburgh, Philadelphia at noon on CBS. That's the Jim Nance, Tony Romo game.
Congrats to the Eagles.
Really? That one?
Yeah, they just made us trade. I can't
I
wait.
mean, Philly's good and all. Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I would rather see New England at the Jets.
Dude, you want to see the map for that? Look at this. Just the northeast corner of the United States. No one's getting that game. The noon game on Fox is
Arizona at Minnesota.
No, it is Oh, that's Fox late. My bad. Wait a second. Do we have a doubleheader on both? Oh, no, I was looking at it wrong. Fox early is Chicago, Dallas.
What?
Hell
Instead of Minnesota?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dallas Cowboys, America's team, John. And then in
America's scheme. And that's MAGA.
That's not America's scheme.
America's scheme.
Well, how do you come up with these bad nicknames?
Or MAGA's team.
That fits way better. America's scheme?
That's a MAGA level nickname.
Yeah, it is.
And
You
it's
Trump.
accurate. It's accurate.
And then the late game is
Bear down Chicago Bears.
your San Francisco 40 or your Los Angeles Rams, my bad, hosting the San Francisco 49ers.
Which I won't be able to see. My wife is very happy that I won't be in the house.
Plus, you finally have to stream it off your phone, and you're going to be gone because you have hoops, right? That's
Yeah,
why. That
yeah.
sucks.
All
Are
right,
you gonna try to go the whole day without seeing it?
Are you gonna watch it
No,
while you're calling hoops?
I'll probably have a little bit of it on.
Sure.
I mean, it doesn't matter anyway. Frisco will get up 17 and the game will be over.
Nice.
Because, I mean, again, Frisco's got the magic elixir to beat the Rams.
Oh,
by the way,
we forgot.
the New York Giants and Seattle Seahawks, the late game.
It's going to huge swaths of the country.
New York football.
Well, it makes
That's
sense.
where Kevin is.
Both teams are pretty good.
He is pumped, I would have to imagine, about getting to call this game.
I would be.
We forgot, John, by the way, there is a London game.
Oh, there is?
Denver versus Jacksonville. The
Oh.
funniest show on TV. They're now in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
How great is this? 8:30 on ESPN Plus.
This one would have been good
Gross.
for Sunday night, Green Bay at Buffalo, but Green Bay's.
Yeah, Green Bay decided to be poopy this year. But
I'll
you want to
go
talk
out
about
and let
another
you-
one? They get smoked.
I think the Monday night game's better than the Sunday night game.
Maybe
Bengals at Browns?
Yeah, Cleveland just sucks though. Like they're not fun to watch. They play ugly football.
They do, but they
win
keep it
sometimes.
close. They keep it close.
I'm gonna go C for the NFL.
I'm gonna go B.
Wow, that's crazy. We are just on the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Well, you have a really good Thursday night game with a lot of interesting storylines. I think the Patriots and Jets is a fascinating matchup for, again, similar reasons.
Yeah, if you have Sunday ticket / red
If
zone.
the Bears actually did tap into something,
well, they're got to go against the best defensive player in the NFL, Micah Parsons. So good luck, Chicago.
he's
Can't
not,
believe we
no,
didn't
no, no,
mention
no. Frisco's
Dolphins
playing
and-
the best defensive player in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't think he's the best anymore.
Didn't even
Micah
mention
Parsons.
Dolphins and Lions.
Micah Parsons is overrated.
Overrated. Good Lord, John. You sound like an idiot. Sorry, Nick. We did not.
I'm just
mention-
trying to match your idiocy. That's all I'm trying to do.
Overrated? Now that's a funny argument I'd like to hear.
No, seriously. I think if the Bears.
The Bears. I love that they're coming off a win. Thanks, Bears.
And then and you got two good late games, a great division rivalry and rematch the NFC Championship, and then the Giants and the Seahawks. I think it's a B. I think it's B worthy.
C.
Hater.
Okay. Again, I'm not trolling. I'm not that excited for Rams 49ers. Because both teams are lesser versions of themselves, and they just have a whole host of issues. It's a good name matchup, but it's like being excited about Cowboys-Eagles in a year where both teams are just kind of poop.
In other words, every year.
Best division of football, baby. What?
Real question.
That's like clearing a Scott Frost bar in a bad NFC.
Best division? No, in all of football. I'm talking about.
No, it's not in all
What's
of football.
better than the NFC East?
All of them.
Okay, see, you can't even have a real discussion with it. What was your question, Nick?
It's going to sound like a
Actually,
joke, but I'm
AFC
being
East.
genuine. I swear to God.
I think AFC East
It's
is
a solid
best.
division.
The Detroit Dolphins game could be just fun to watch in a bad way, right?
Maybe Detroit's
kind of
sucks
yeah,
now.
but it's kind of fun to watch. It's like chaotic.
It was fun to watch, but they're not anymore. What
No.
happened to them in weeks 1 through 4 or 5? They were great. They played dumb games, and now they just
That's true.
They scored 6 against Dallas, and they scored 0 against the
They
Patriots.
had as many turnovers against Dallas's points.
That's awesome, man. That's a good time.
Also, Tua's back.
Well, that's mainly because Jared Goff.
That's good.
He does.
It's not because Dallas is any good, especially with that overrated. What's that guy's name again?
Is this going to be a bit now all
Mitchell-
year long?
Mitchell
When
Perkins.
he's lifting up the Super Bowl, when he is this generation's
He's
Von
lifting up
Miller.
the Super Bowl.
This generation's Von Miller.
That's how strong he
This
is.
generation's Von Miller.
Yeah, dominant, because they're going to go to the Super Bowl. Everyone's going to be like, oh, they can't win with defense, and then they will. This year's been built on defense, friends.
It's going to be hard to do when old Ack is throwing 7 interceptions.
What?
a
Okay,
game.
now what's this joke? Ack?
Or Dick Prescott.
Why don't you
remember Dick Prescott?
I do. Thank God Nick can't find that drop.
Josh accidentally called his own quarterback Dick Prescott once.
Did you scrub that one, Josh?
No, I would never do such a thing. I wouldn't do such a thing.
Oh, it'll be interesting to watch. That's for sure.
We love football.
We do love football.
Damn it. Ha! It's not there.
Listen, I'll never forget that.
Never
Ever.
forget.
Never forget.
Indeed.
Old Dick Prescott.
Indeed.
We got dumb debates coming up. And I got a question about
This
dumb
segment
debates
wasn't
that
dumb enough for you.
actually stems back to a debate that went through the program yesterday about one of the weakest titles in pop culture. I think you'll like this one.
Chris in Montana. John couldn't remember Venables. For the record, neither could I.
I couldn't.
Did he have too many chewables at lunch?
I did. I had too many chewables.
Big chewables guy.
Uh-huh.
Too
We
many
finally got him.
chewables.
So you have a question in dumb debates. I'm interested.
It is. I think it's a good one.
All right.
And more coming up. 1620 The Zone.
Omaha's most listened to all sports radio station. Again and again and again. 1620 The Zone.
Greg Gonzalez retired as a tenured and decorated Deputy Chief of Police at the Omaha Police Department. Greg has over 28 years of experience and successfully climbed the ranks from street cop to Deputy Police Chief in charge of hundreds of police officers. Greg holds a bachelor's in criminal justice and a master's in public administration. Greg has the education, executive leadership, and budget experience needed to manage the Douglas County Sheriff's Department. Greg has helped recruit and hire over 450 officers. Greg Gonzalez will hire and train deputies to patrol your neighborhoods and keep you safe at night. Greg is the only candidate who has the executive leadership experience at the ranks of deputy chief, captain, and lieutenant. His opponent does not have the temperament, education, rank, budget, or supervisory experience needed to successfully lead the entire Douglas County Sheriff's Department. Hire the most qualified person for the job. Vote Greg Gonzalez for Douglas County Sheriff.
Hi, I'm Greg Gonzalez, and I approve this message. Paid for by Greg for Sheriff.
Start week 8 of the NFL season off right with a no-sweat same-game parlay from FanDuel. It is America's #1 sports book. Now, it doesn't matter if you're new to FanDuel or already have an account. You'll get free bets back if your Thursday night same-game parlay doesn't hit. Now, same-game parlays are the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payday. Let's look at this Thursday night matchup between Baltimore and Tampa Bay. Lamar Jackson against that Tampa Bay defense and Lamar Jackson this year. I would go over rushing yards. How about Tom Brady against the Ravens pass defense? I would go over as well. And you know what? Let's go one more. Anytime TV, I would go with Mike Evans. Build your own and choose from one of the popular same-game parlays pre-built in your FanDuel sports app. Or, you know what? Make it your way. However you want to play, you can bet on the NFL this Thursday night with a no-sweat same-game parlay. Just sign up with promo code ZONE if you don't already have an account. If you do, you're all set. Just sign in and see what you got. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 over, present Iowa, 3+ legs, minimum $1 bet required. Refund issues, non-withdrawable free bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Maximum free bet, $5. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Creighton Sports Update.
Creighton women's soccer wraps up the regular season home schedule tomorrow night as they host the Butler Bulldogs. Kickoff is set for 6:30 p.m. Get your tickets online at gocreighton.com/tickets. That's Creighton versus Butler tomorrow night at 6:30. And that's your Creighton Sports Update.
1620 The Zone proudly supports Creighton Athletics.
Buy your next vehicle your way from anywhere with Woodhouse. Start your journey online at woodhouse.com. Easily shop all new and pre-owned inventory. Explore payment options and apply for financing. Ready to purchase? Schedule your new vehicle for pickup from the dealership or have it delivered to your driveway. Need a little extra help in determining your perfect vehicle? Our knowledgeable and local dealerships can guide you to the vehicle that best matches your needs. Experience car buying your way with Woodhouse, a trusted auto partner since 1975.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call on the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Since this is a radio commercial, you can't see the people standing behind me. They're the Langfeld family. Everybody wave. Oh, sorry. You can't see them because radio. Anyway, the Langfelds are the family behind Langfeld Overhead Door, where they proudly install Midland garage doors to fit any space and style. And they don't take a backseat to anyone when it comes to their service. Because if something goes wrong, it's their name on the line. So they're going to make sure it goes right every single time. Langfeld Overhead Door, 402-234-2700.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
We still haven't gotten to the schedule talk yet.
I know, because you wanted to get fired up for football.
Well, I did, and because that's our Wednesday tradition.
How about this tweet from Dan? I keep hearing Nebraska's 2023 schedule is so unfavorable. Dad, help me understand why people have this feeling. Sometimes our fans find the smallest thing to complain about, give excuses for the Huskers just playing bad football.
Well, let's take a look.
A gander.
Let's take a look, shall we?
Goose?
At the schedule. So it will start on a Thursday night at Minnesota.
Baller.
But then they will also play at Colorado.
Now, real quick, there's not much different that they could have done at the start of the schedule, right? The Colorado game and the other two non-cons were already scheduled for weeks 2, 3, and 4 of the season.
Yeah. I mean, they could have said we don't want to play on Thursday night.
I guess so, but I don't think the league wants to put a conference season game on a Saturday. Now, maybe I'm wrong because there are 2 other conference games in week 1. Maybe I'm going to be wrong. Or they could have, I guess, gotten on to Labor Day Sunday. But it's hard if Nebraska, as you think, if they are so anti-playing home games on a Thursday, then there really just weren't that many options. So there we go.
So what's interesting is the Michigan game falls early this year or next year.
Very early.
It's September 30th.
Yeah.
So it's the first home conference game after the back-to-back Northern Illinois, Louisiana Tech. Then on the road to Illinois. Who will probably do a banner raising ceremony at that game.
Nice.
Then the bye. So
Idle.
Nebraska gets its bye right smack dab in the middle of the season.
Yeah, 6
Perfectly
and 6.
placed.
Yeah.
Then come right back out of that bye with back-to-back home games. You talk about maybe building some momentum for the second half. You get Northwestern and Purdue back-to-back at home. Then you go to Michigan State.
Who knows what the hell they'll be.
November 11th, home against Maryland. Then at Wisconsin, and then Black Friday against Iowa. How is Nebraska getting screwed in this?
I don't know.
Please explain this to me. If someone's complaining about the back-to-back road games, again, I don't know what to tell you.
I think so. The one other criticism that I have heard is they are opening up on the road. Let me back up. Their first conference game is a road game, and that is how they have had their conference season begin. Going back to the last time that they opened up with a conference home game. It was like 2016, 2015. But that's such a weird thing to complain about.
Sure it is.
That your first conference game. Now, if you want to say, again, they're opening against a division opponent, well, that was going to happen, again, because of how the schedule was put together.
Remember, this was originally the plan before they scrapped this schedule last year.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Minnesota.
So this was going to be it anyway. So there's not really a change. So it's not like it's a surprise. Oh my God, where is this? Where did this come from?
I'm serious when I said it earlier, man. Like, I think that you don't have to squint that hard, but if you want to find a silver lining after those 2 road games, and here's a big positive of it too, John. Thursday night game, which means you get a mini bye before Colorado. That's a positive. After that, though,
The positive boys.
Thank you. 7 home games, 3 road games. And I know that over the course of the year, it's 7 and 5, but I'm serious. That's huge. After they get past Colorado, they only have to travel 3 times the rest of the year. That is awesome.
Hello.
That could really work out for them.
Yeah, and only one time between games 3 and 10.
Yeah, that's dude.
So
that is
huge. Again,
yeah, that's a great point, man.
It's not
What
that.
are
It's
the
not
dates?
bad.
What's the date in Northern Illinois all the way to Michigan State? What's the?
So after they get back on September the 9th, after playing Colorado, they'll be on the road October the 7th, but then their next road trip won't be until November 4th. So they will only
Basically 2
travel
months.
once
In 2 months.
in 2 months.
That's great. And here's the other thing too.
If that's getting screwed, I want to be that person.
One of the things that you want on a schedule in the Big Ten is if you're going to have Michigan, don't have Ohio State. If you're going to have Ohio State, don't have Michigan. But they also don't have Penn State. So they have Michigan and then an unknown in Michigan State and a lesser rung team, I guess I'll describe them, in Maryland from the other side.
We'll look at the other West Division crossovers and the Eastern schedule
I don't get it.
next hour, but we want to get to dumb debates. And I've got a question. It's inspired from yesterday and the term showrunner, which is one of the weakest terms for a grand poobah I've ever heard.
Very great term. Many are saying
It's
it.
just
Literally many are saying
It's the Blade Runner spinoff.
It's really bad. It's really bad.
That joke was really bad.
Yeah.
But I've got a question based off of that, and I think we'll have some fun with it. Coming up on Unsportsmanlike Conduct's Dumb Debates on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Looks like a crash on westbound 370 at Wickersham Road is causing delays. If you're east on L Street, delays starting at about 108th going to at least 84th. And then if you're north on the JFK, delays starting at Capehart going to L Street. If you're south on the JFK, delays starting at the I-80 split going to L Street. And it looks like there is a slight delay on westbound L Street around 36th. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by IBEW Local 22.
Does great pay, fully funded medical benefits, and a solid retirement sound good to you? IBEW has immediate openings for journeyman electricians. Invest in yourself with IBEW Local 22. Call Bob at 402-980-7596.
Here's an opportunity for business-to-business salespeople. NRG Media is looking for someone who gets excited about helping local businesses grow. Are you an idea person who can create and execute a plan? We should talk. At NRG Media, we create local marketing campaigns designed to meet a key challenge. On air, online, on-site, audio, video. It's all part of what you could do. A sales career with NRG lets you make a real difference. Business-to-business salespeople? Apply online at nrgmedia.com. NRG Media is an equal opportunity employer.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power and savings with style. Not to mention top tech to help keep you connected. Plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years, with a hybrid or electric vehicle built for every driver. Seriously, dear gas prices? Do you really think you could stand in our way? Think again. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
See your independently owned Omaha Metro Toyota dealers. Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Corwin Toyota of Bellevue.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
J-Tech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers, offers exterior solutions that help you protect your #1 investment. Whether it's roofing and siding or windows and doors, they're committed to excellence, quality, and outstanding customer service in every step of the process. When it's time to protect the exterior of your home, your choice is simple. Turn to who the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Check them out online and schedule a free estimate today. J-Tech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers.
The big box stores have a secret. When you walk out the door with a new purchase, that's where the service ends. At Ty's Outdoor Power and Service, you get great deals on brands like Hustler, Toro, Honda, and Steel. Plus, you get a dedicated experienced service center. With annual maintenance and repairs, your equipment will last longer and perform when you need it most. See us in Lincoln, Omaha, or Gretna and get 10% off your residential service. Visit TysOutdoorPower.com, promo code radio, or mention radio to redeem.
Listen to Woodhouse Auto Family Blue Jay Overtime, the Creighton men's basketball postgame show on 1620 The Zone. Live from DJ's Dugout downtown. It's right after every home game, presented by Barry Law. Exclusively on your home for the Creighton Blue Jays. 1620 The Zone.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
It'd be nice to have a boat.
Throw.
It would be nice to have a boat.
Throw.
It would be nice to have a boat.
Throw.
It would be nice to have a boat.
Throw.
It would be nice to have a boat.
Throw.
It would be nice to have a boat.
Throw.
It would be nice to have a boat.
Throw.
It would be nice to have a boat.
Throw.
When you're gone.
Listeners and not to, we did anyway, dumb debating.
John's computer sucks, Macs are the only way, dumb debating.
Fullbacks are running backs, hamburger steaks.
Josh is too dumb to eat a cupcake.
Mailing a base.
Does John like Nebraska or Creighton?
Just 3 radio hosts on air, dumb debating. Die for the pylon or give up on the plate, dumb debating.
Millennials are great and old should go away, dumb debating.
Rarely do we find any common ground.
Josh wants his food to be the best around.
Even if it gives him fatal flatulation.
Just 3 radio hosts on air, dumb debating. When a tree falls down and nobody's around, you can bet your ass it won't make a sound. Water ain't wet, you know nothing about hydration. Just 3 radio hosts on air, dumb debating. Just 3 radio hosts on air, dumb debating.
This is Dumb Debates. This is the segment where you submit your debates to us. J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed. At USC 1620. Use the hashtag Dumb Debates. Or the Equitable Bank inbox. John at 1620thezone.com. Josh at 1620thezone.com. If you want to send yours to Nick, you can.
Nick at 1620thezone.com.
And still Nick at 1620thezone.com.
Forever.
Forever.
Ever.
Wow.
So yesterday during the program, we finally got the definition of what a showrunner is.
Yes, the question that we'd been asking on the show for years, we finally got the answer.
Burning question.
It was a burning question, and it turns out the answer was very underwhelming. It's actually the
guy who runs the show.
Like the
Who knew?
Yeah, who knew?
I mean, I knew because I'm not an idiot.
I didn't know because
you're an idiot.
I
7.5.
I don't hang out with all your elite lib Hollywood friends.
Elite lib Hollywood friends.
But even those of you have to admit it's kind of a weak name.
I've never viewed it this way. I viewed it like,
It's just very weak because usually, a leader is called an executive producer. You put the term executive in front of her.
See, I've always thought that was a dumb name. Like, what does an executive producer even mean? I like showrunner. It makes more sense.
Because it makes it sound like they're running errands. Because that's exactly what it sounds like.
That's not for me. I view it as they run the show. It's not errand runner. It's showrunner.
Did you think Blade Runner was just about a dude who delivered knives?
I've never seen that movie, so I don't know. I didn't really know what that was about. I figured it was like the name of a ship.
We should watch it sometime for the movie club.
I've never seen it.
Well, on that subject,
wish it 5 years.
On that subject, some of the names in football.
Oh, yes, great question.
Football, even in and of itself, is kind of misleading.
We talked about it. If we were going to name the sport today, it would be called tackle ball. Not football.
It would be called tackle ball.
Tackle ball makes much more sense.
But
throw ball.
Some of the positions in the sport are really kind of misleading, especially if you're introducing someone new to the sport. Why do they call him a quarterback when most quarterbacks now are 5 yards behind the ball?
Oh, is that why they were called quarterbacks?
Holy crap, really?
Well, the genesis of the name quarterback comes from the very early days of football when Walter Camp helped design the rules for the game. The quarterback was the one who was to take the ball. Back then, the quarterback could not run past the line of scrimmage. The quarterback's simple job was to take the snapped football or the centered ball and hand it to somebody behind him. Hand it to the guy who was half back or halfway back. Or hand it to the guy who was all the way back or fullback.
Isn't that crazy that the fullback was the furthest one back?
Yes.
And then the halfback was in front of him and then the quarterback.
Wow, this makes a lot more sense to me.
But that's where those names come from. But if we were reinventing the sport today, we would name the person the quarterback.
We call him throw man.
Well, yeah, if you were an idiot, Hollywood elite lib.
What would you call him?
Throw man.
That's my question. What would we name some of these?
Fighter of the
I think we might use field general.
Field general? Quarterbacks are called the field general.
That's a power-up in Madden.
Is it really?
Yeah.
The field general or the field commander.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot
field
of...
boss. Field coach.
Field coach.
Peyton Manning was certainly a field coach.
The field football team, if it's field commander.
Running back, that still makes a lot of sense. But like offensive tackle.
Why is it called an?
You're not supposed to tackle on the offensive side.
You just call them blockers. You have outside blockers, inside blockers, and snapper.
Center. Well, center makes sense because he's in the center of the line.
But you call him snapper because that's his, the main job.
Right. But I'm fine with keeping it center. I'm also fine with guards.
Because they guard.
I was a guard.
But the tackles.
That's crazy. You're not that.
I think the tackles should be called shields.
Shields.
Ooh.
I mean, their job is to protect the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Like
the tackle.
Blindside shield, front side shield.
Or left shield, right shield.
Wow.
I'm just trying to get fancier, and every time I'm trying to be fancy, you don't like it.
Well, I mean, we don't want to get
too fancy. We need to
fancy.
simplify it. It needs to be simple.
You got to speak to Middle America. Good call.
You got to speak to Middle America.
Good call.
Exactly. Elite lib Hollywood opinion over
I
here.
literally live in Middle America. I'm trying to help out.
Now, defensive tackles are still okay.
Because they're tackling. Would you just call them interior tackle? I mean, you
could call them interior tackles.
Mm-hmm.
Rush end or edge.
Well, they're calling them that. Edge rusher.
Yeah.
Oh, because they rush on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Linebacker still works.
Linebacker makes sense because
you're backing the line.
You're backing the line. Now, defensive backs.
Well, that makes sense.
Cornerback.
How do we feel about nickelback?
You're on the corner of the field.
Hey,
or
nickelback's pretty good.
You could call them edge.
Is that the corner?
Backs.
See, that's what I was going to say. The corners there's only 4 of those, and the cornerbacks are rarely
edge backs.
Well, it depends on the shape.
Safety still works.
Could you just call them
deep? Or you could call them deep backs.
Could you call them cover men? He's the right cover man, and he's the left cover man.
Well, how do you decipher that between that and the safeties, who are also cover men?
Deep cover men. They're under deep cover.
So Well, yeah, but if you're man coverage, then the dude's running, your cornerback's running.
So why are they called safeties, though?
Yeah, why are they called safeties?
Well, the last line of defense, the safety, the guy at the very back end of the defense.
See, this makes me feel less dumb because growing up, that always confused me. The names always confused me, and I think that was a barrier for me. And I just kind of assumed everybody knew what they were based on their names.
Check out the internet, probably. All could have helped if you just would have gone on a Wikipedia.
My dad had dial-up when I was a kid. We had one computer.
The deep back works.
Mhm,
You're
deep back.
usually deep.
In the back.
Ha! Kenny says, if you're interested in seeing how football was first played and developed, tune into Iowa versus Northwestern this weekend. Yeah, you want to go back in time. This is a great place to do so. Ha! Brian, how about we call players by their names? Sick of this dehumanizing disrespect. Yeah. Thank you, Brian.
Another elite Hollywood lib opinion over here.
He wants to name them their names, John. Justin says OTs call them edge blockers. I like that.
That's
a cool name.
I like, but you don't want to confuse them with the edge on the
Again,
defensive
you got to think
side.
about Middle America right now. Tapping them on the head. Oh, good job. You understand the sport now.
You don't have to talk. I'm right here, Josh.
That's how John's talking. I'm trying to, meet people in the middle. John over here, though, he's not. Very sad.
You know, the average person in this country reads at a 3rd grade level.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's research.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, I guess I do listen on Sportsmanlike content.
So what's your excuse?
I just beat you to the better joke about him.
It's dunk on Nick Day, apparently.
Kicker?
I like
Still a
Shield,
kicker?
man. Kicker's fine.
Punter?
Punter's fine.
High kick. I call them high kicker because they
Why?
kick the ball high into the air.
Well, if he's onside.
I think kicker and
Not if he's
punter is
onside.
fine.
Yeah.
I think that's okay.
What if he's a bad kicker? He's definitely not kicking it high.
No, I was talking about the punter.
What if
is
he's
called
Jordan Congdon and can't barely
John,
get the damn
talking
thing
about
over the line
punter.
of scrimmage?
The punter
Oh,
is the
punter.
high kicker. Yeah.
Or maybe we can call it the goal poster.
The goal poster. I like that. The touchbacker.
All right. So this was something that Schaefer alluded to in the beginning of his interview.
Oh, here you go. You're about to get really triggered, I'm guessing.
There was a tweet out there from some, again, Hollywood liberal elitist.
Tim Marchman.
Every word of this is truth. No one has ever made a good sweet potato fry. Even the best ones are limp and soggy and somehow cold, even when right out of the oil. Just roast them.
Nice.
I don't have a strong opinion on sweet potato fries, but I was reintroduced to sweet potatoes by the sweet potato fry. Because for the longest time, I was out on sweet potatoes.
I am out on
Hated
sweet
them.
potatoes.
I have warmed to them, and it was because of sweet potato fries, which, by the way, weren't limp and soggy and weren't cold.
Because they went to Brookside.
My sophomore year of high school, they started, instead of giving us normal French fries, everything was sweet potatoes, sweet potato tots, sweet potato fries.
Thanks,
sweet potato,
Michelle
sweet potato.
Obama.
Nice.
Actually, kind of.
Aren't they more unhealthy? Like, they're not healthy.
I don't know
not
what
when you
the
fry
deal
them.
was.
Not when you fry them.
Well, yeah.
Well, I don't think they fried them. Like, they might have baked them, but they were always soggy. They would never stay warm. They were mushy.
They're saying they get everywhere.
Hmm.
So what's your question coming out of this?
They're all garbage. They're not good. Sweet potatoes are bad.
Bad. They're horrible. I hate them so much. But this
I
isn't
don't
dumb
hate-
debates. Now we're just arguing.
This
with,
is not
Now we're just
good.
arguing with.
Well,
each
I
other.
didn't realize
dunking
you
on
guys
sweet
were
potato
out on
fries.
sweet potatoes, period.
Correct.
Because they're bad.
Yeah.
I don't think they're bad.
Rejoin us, John. You were in this club. How long ago was this?
Well, that's because I tried them. I
I had to.
I wasn't so close-minded to the world.
See, now why you always
Would
say
you
this?
like it chewable, John?
Huh? I've tried
They're
them.
very chewable. Sweet potatoes are chewable.
Great counter argument, Nick. I've tried them. I just don't like them.
Yeah, they're
Because
not good.
chewables are illegal. I don't believe in
Not
illegal
dude, they're
activities.
not. They're,
They're really
everywhere in
not.
Omaha.
They're really
They're
not.
all over the place. It's so weird.
Then you know what?
If you want, I can
I'm
be
voting
back
for
in
the
10
candidate
minutes.
for sheriff who's actually going to crack down on this
Wow.
illegal activity.
It's legal.
It's legal.
It says so on the door. This is legal.
It's so on the door.
And very cool.
And very
It
cool.
says that on the door,
Very
too.
cool and very normal.
I thought it would be more of an argument. I didn't realize you guys hated sweet potatoes.
Mhm.
Garbage.
Mhm.
Absolute garbage.
Mhm.
All right. That's fine.
Let's see. Mark asks, this has been a topic as of late. Are you a terrible person if you blow your leaves and glass trimmings into the street? Or is this okay behavior? This is kind of a very similar question to the, if you are scooping snow, is it okay to just toss the snow into the
I
middle
think
of the road?
Snow in the road is more dangerous than leaves. in the
Correct.
leaves can make the road a little slick, but
Yeah, why? I guess here's the question. Why is it bad to blow the leaves into the road? Why?
said it makes
Well,
the
you're
road a
not.
little
The
slick,
road
but-
is supposed to be clean of debris.
But are leaves debris or are they just nature?
They become debris when you do it on purpose. Yes.
It's
Yeah.
not
It's falling off the tree and they're out there, And I
Leaves
realize
are-
it's the same exact thing. The leaves are there or they're not. But if you put them there on purpose, that's a D move.
Leaves were also famously around before roads. People forget.
That's true. That's why I say let them blow around in their natural habitat. I think that none of us should have to clean up leaves.
I agree.
That's easy for you to say. You don't even live in a house. You don't have to worry about it.
That is easy for
them be.
John, I'm trying to tell you, you shouldn't have to clean it.
Yeah, John.
That's the thing that I'll run on when I can run for president next year as a 35-year-old.
Think of all the pretty colors on the lawn that you just get rid
gorgeous,
of.
Oh, yeah.
John. It's very pretty. It's like a painting.
Do you know how ugly those? I'm still blowing leaves out from last fall out of my garage.
John, it's good. It's good for your lawn because they go down, they rot. It's good for the soil. Then the snow happens, and then next spring your lawn's beautiful. It's nature.
I mean, yes, you can compost those leaves, but it's probably more effectively done when you actually have them in a compost versus just leaving them on the lawn.
So don't blow them into the street.
No.
Okay.
No. If you're gonna go to the trouble of removing the leaves from your lawn, put them in a container
Blow them
or
into
in
the
compost.
next door neighbor's lawn, then you don't have to worry.
Or just let.
Got a counter argument from listener Mike.
What does Mike say?
It's bad for motorcycles. Leaves and grass in the road, not great for motorcycles.
Yeah,
that's true.
I'm not going to say what I was thinking. So
sip on his hog, driving over leaves.
Vroom vroom. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want it to be dangerous for folks.
That's true. Danger is bad.
There's a reason why we paved our roads, so we had something nice and solid to
Where
drive
we're
on.
going, we don't need road. We just need the flying cars. And we don't have to worry about any of these things. And flying motorcycles.
Okay, I've seen how people drive non-flying cars. I don't think we need to give people flying cars.
No, we just need to give the smart people
I don't want to
the
be
flying
cut off
cars.
mid-air.
So, me. Nice. Jim says quarterbacks are the highest paid and with oftentimes Hollywood looks, so I think elite lib Hollywood back is appropriate.
Joey or
Elite
Jimmy
lib
GQ.
Hollywood back.
And there goes the elite lib Hollywood back.
Wow, that's a little wordy.
mouthful.
But
It
that's
is.
that. I mean, you
Call them the libs.
ELHB.
The Elb back.
Nicholas says, surprised Josh didn't suggest calling the linemen the offensive line persons. I mean, yeah, that would fit.
That's true. It's
That
very
is
much
gender
like
neutral.
showrunner.
That's fair.
And then Jimmy Allen, host of After Hours with Jimmy Allen, says sweet potatoes good. And then more tweets came in. Sweet potatoes, fries, trash. So he's in on the potatoes, out on the fries.
Again, I guess I've always had the good sweet potato fries.
Now,
and I don't have them that often, and I mean, listen, would I prefer just normal fries? Of course I would.
Now, Joey has sent this question, and he's being very consistent, and I guess I'm going to give him props because he sent it to us last week before LSU ran Ole Miss out of the stadium when he says, what makes a stadium tough to play? Decibel level, weather, altitude? Because people say never bet against LSU at night at home because it's so hard to win there. Can we use record as a data like Nebraska in a tough place to play if we go by record alone? What makes a stadium a tough home field advantage? And he originally asked us this last week because we were talking about how tough LSU is. And then it was very tough for Ole Miss. How do you view a tough? I mean, isn't it so much more about the team than it is anything else?
Well, of course, it's always about the team because you're not playing the fans.
Nebraska had a 40-some-odd game winning streak at home.
But it all comes together in the team is more relaxed at home. They feel more comfortable at home.
Don't
There's
have
a
to
mindset.
travel.
There's the noise factor, the factor of maybe intimidation of the officials. You tend to get better calls at home than you do on the road. It's all of those things.
I think too, and a place like LSU and why it gets so much love is like there's this weird almost like mysticism around playing there at night and how difficult it can be because they've had very famous games over the years.
Sure.
Like the earthquake game where it was so loud, it registered on the Richter scale. You know, like that type of stuff feeds into the beast of why a home field can be so tough. I view it as a combination of just overall fan enthusiasm and how good the team is.
Yeah, it all feeds into itself.
Patriots had a great home record with Tom Brady. Did they have a great home field advantage? No, they had Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. You know, Seattle, I think they actually have a great home field advantage in the NFL. Chiefs, though, they were horrible at home for a long time because they were horrible at football.
Yes, they were.
You know? But
That's
when you have
true.
Patrick Mahomes, you're a great home team.
Aaron says, what's the most annoying thing callers say when they call in?
Nothing. Nothing is ever annoying about a listener.
First-time caller, long-time listener? Question
That
mark?
actually makes me laugh. I think that's funny.
Yeah, honest answer, how you doing?
You don't like the how you doing?
How you doing?
Well, especially not so much when you take an occasional call
When
like
it's
we
on
do
Big
here on
Red
the program.
Overreaction
But
and
when
it's hour
Big
3,
Red
I feel like
Overreaction
this is
and
gonna
literally
Streisand on us
every
pretty
call
hard.
starts with how you guys doing.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally answered that 17 calls ago.
That's true. We're still.
So that's why I am encouraging everyone to go over the top this week on Big Red Overreaction and ask specifics about how Josh and Ravi are doing. Just
Okay, if
how
that
well,
happened, that'd be
just
funny.
how well are you doing?
Did you eat enough? Are you
Yeah.
running? Do you feel okay?
Oh, yeah, I can answer those questions.
What's your oxygen level?
I'm trying to think of what annoys me. Yeah, I mean, I guess that.
I mean, when it happens every call, it's just like, come on. I get it. It's like a what's the phrase I'm looking for? Like a tick.
Brent Venables. Oh,
not
sorry.
Brent Venables. But it's like it's a
You're
crutch.
out late.
It's a crutch. People just do it because
for sure
they're being Midwestern nice.
Yeah, just answer with
hello.
Matt says if you do not remove the leaves from your yard, they will kill your grass.
Oh, well, they
And
kill
then
the grass?
Mark emails and he says it's actually illegal to blow your leaves in the street. They clog storm sewers and can cause a lot of drainage problems. And then Thomas on the other side says putting bleep in the street makes it a city problem, which is covered by taxes, which most people pay.
So what this is telling me is nature had a solution for this problem, and then we tore down Paradise and put up a parking lot, and now a bunch of problems are happening.
So would you prefer just to live in the wilderness with no power,
I'd live
no
in a commune.
sewer? Of course you would live in a commune.
Why not?
I like air conditioning.
I like air conditioning. I like electricity.
I like
I like
internet.
heat.
Yeah.
I like
those.
television.
I grew up on a gravel road. I was fine with gravel roads.
I got no problem with processed foods.
How do you feel about gravel roads?
I learned how to drive on gravel roads.
I
It made
hate
me a
gravel
better
roads.
driver.
That's it. One of my best friend, he drives like 2 miles an hour on gravel roads. It makes me hate him even more.
You can
Drive
go
faster.
30. You can go 35,
Yeah,
but
he can't
you-
because
if you're good, you can go 50.
Yeah, he's not.
Oh yeah, you can go 50 on a gravel
I hate
road.
gravel
If it's a
roads, though.
properly maintained
You're
gravel
not
road.
supposed
You
to, though.
can.
Pave it.
Legally.
Well, you can't pave every single road.
Why not?
It is interesting though in Wisconsin.
You know how expensive that would be to pave every single county road. in
Figure it
this
out,
town?
Ashland.
I don't go super often, but the few times I've been to Wisconsin in the rural areas, all those roads are paved.
All right, here's a question for you. Would you rather your taxes go to paving all the roads or paying off Nick's education?
Well, again, I think I'm going to get the two. So give me all the education.
Oh, so instead of paving all the roads, Josh would rather get free money, even though you've paid most of your loans.
I'm not. No, I haven't.
Grav-
I am not going to the small towns to have to worry about this
Also,
stuff.
gravel
I'm a city
roads are
boy.
way better to drive on in the snow. You get more grip when there's ice and stuff. And
That
you don't
doesn't
want.
sound-
Do you?
Yeah, you do a little bit.
Sounds like fake news.
How well are they cleared, though? Because if they're not cleared, it doesn't matter.
I
They're not
mean,
plowed, you
they're
know.
supposed to be, but then
Right.
that gets down to county politics.
Rick says, "What is the worst college football fight song to have as an earworm?" My vote is either for Boomer Sooner or Florida State's War
You know what?
Chant.
I've had an earworm for the last 24 hours.
Tennessee.
Bear down.
Bear down.
Seriously,
Chicago.
it is-
Oh, if we can do pro stuff, the Eagles won then. Oh, triggered.
The bear down thing has been in my head for the last 24 hours.
Yeah?
Ever since we put it on with Farron yesterday.
I had Rocky Top stuck in my head for a week.
Yeah,
I like Rocky Top though. Rocky Top's awesome. Rocky Top.
I think is it Ohio State? Da, 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 or da, 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 da,
That's
da.
Ohio State.
Yeah. So that was my high
Ba,
school
ba,
fight
ba,
song.
ba,
So that
ba,
one's
ba,
just
ba,
in my head periodically.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know her. I don't know many high schools that used Ohio State. That's interesting. You know, it always always triggered me that high schools didn't have students or somebody like a music teacher create custom fight songs.
Omaha North was an original, I believe. I had never heard it anywhere. Meanwhile, Bellevue West, because that's where my best friend went, theirs is Oregon's fight song. That's what they do.
I actually mentioned this in a tweet. So we didn't get to do the own composition, but we collaborated. All the upperclassmen collaborated on the words for our fight song, and it sounds like a bunch of high school kids. wrote it. It's
That's
so
funny.
bad.
Yeah, I'm with you, John. That's stolen
Catch
valor.
the spirit,
Yeah.
stand up and cheer.
And then
Wolves
what
are
happens if
ready,
you're?
this is our year.
That's
We
why all the
wolves will fight
schools
with
in this
might and
state
bring
that
us a
that had
victory.
on Wisconsin as their fight song, and then
Brought
Nebraska
together.
became rivals with Wisconsin.
Tough look.
Strong and ready.
That's why you don't want to use another school's fight song. Make your own. Create your own.
We, the wolves, have come to fight you
What
now.
the
It's
hell
just
are you
He's
stuck
still
in my
singing
head.
it. You don't have to sing it out loud, Nick.
I know. It happens.
Jordan says, rank room temperature, chilled, and ice cold in terms of what temp of water is the best to drink. Remember this talk from last week, the ice talk? How do you want your water? Do you want it super cold? Do you want it chilled, or do you want it room temp when you're drinking it?
Cold, chilled, room temp.
I'm going to go chilled, then ice cold, then room temp.
I do ice like cold's the coldest, right?
Yeah.
That for me. I just go
Ice
coldest
cold.
to warmest.
All right.
I want it as cold as possible.
Sometimes I like tea though, so scalding hot.
Ugh.
I don't want it scalding hot, but I also can't stand it when it gets too cold. Oh.
Bob wants to know, would John rather be the play-by-play guy for Cornhuskers football or play-by-play guy for Creighton Hoops?
Well, considering I'm already doing Creighton Hoops, I think that's an easy answer.
All right.
Formula One.
Ugh. Did you ever want to be the voice of the Cornhusker football team?
Yes.
Yeah. When's the last time you called a football game?
That's been a while.
Yeah, same. I haven't called a football game in 11 years.
I've
Can't
never
remember.
called a football game.
Can't
believe
remember.
it or not.
Kind of surprised.
Can't remember.
Honestly, I could probably go back home and be like, "Can I call a game?" And be like, "All right."
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Like a high school
I do
game?
miss calling football. I would like to call football.
Yeah, I'd like to
again.
try it again just to see if I could do it.
Hint, hint, Marcus Blossom, start a football team.
Nice. All right, that's dumb debate.
That's dumb debate.
Iowa.
No, that's later.
It's later, Nick. That's
Damn
bet
it.
of the day.
That's bet of the day.
Iowa.
All right, so we'll look at the other teams in the Big Ten and the crossover schedules, because that's going to be important towards determining the last Western Division champion. We'll also look at the East, I suppose. Not that it matters. Ohio State's going to win them all anyway.
Y'all learn that Michigan's good. Michigan's good.
Yeah, but Ohio State's better.
Well, we'll see about that.
You know what? You know what's even better?
What?
Saving money. Like you can right now when you shop at Woodhouse Ford Blair, because they are having a hail sale, and you could save. There are select vehicles on the lot that will receive free hail damage repair before you leave the dealership. Small hail equals big savings. If you can find a ding, they'll repair it at no cost. Plus, save big when you custom order your new 2023 Ford F-150 with Woodhouse Ford Blair. Receive up to $3,000 off MSRP on select 2023 Ford F-150 orders and lock in 2.9% APR for up to 60 months with approved credit when you place your order with Woodhouse Ford Blair. Got a trade? Woodhouse has even more savings when you order by providing an additional $1,000 off MSRP for a 2010 or newer trade-in. Choose your way to save and visit Woodhouse Ford, the OG in Blair, either in-store or online at woodhousefordblair.com. Shop their current hail sale inventory or start your custom order process today. That's Woodhouse Ford in Blair, woodhousefordblair.com.
Previously on the crossover.
Bruce Feldman. I really think Alabama is not as good as people say. Oh, baby, I'm so hot.
Actually, I mean, saying that does kind of get me going. Wait, Alabama, I missed the CFP? Hold on, I'm almost there. Say it slower. Yeah.
Mornings on 1620 The Zone, the Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike Conduct. 6A to 6P, 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast presented by Bellevue Berry and Pumpkin Ranch from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly cloudy and mild into late afternoon with the temperatures in the upper 50s. Mainly cloudy tonight, low temperatures in the mid 40s, and still mainly cloudy on Thursday, maybe a spotty shower, high in the upper 50s. I am Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Heads up, a crash on southbound 72nd at I-80 has the right lane blocked, causing delays through there. We've also got a crash on southbound 72nd at Grover Street. A wreck has the right shoulder blocked on eastbound I-80 at the Giles exit, causing stop-and-go traffic back from the 144th exit. Delays on 370 for both directions between I-80 and 144th. Also delays on L Street for both directions around 90th. If you're north on the JFK, delays start at K Park going to L Street. And if you're south on the JFK, delays start at I-80 going to L Street. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by IBEW Local 22.
Does great pay, fully funded medical benefits, and a solid retirement sound good to you? IBEW has immediate openings for residential electricians. Invest in yourself with IBEW Local 22. Call John at 402-973-0613.
COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too. If you feel symptoms, even if they're mild, you should test fast. Test positive and at high risk for severe COVID-19? Then act fast with authorized oral treatments that can be taken at home and must be taken within 5 days from when symptoms begin. COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too by asking your healthcare provider if an oral treatment is right for you. Learn about a treatment option at treatcv19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal is $50 worth of vouchers to Le Voltaire French Restaurant for only $25. Le Voltaire Pepperwood Village is a locally owned, unpretentious French restaurant serving down-home cooking with an extensive wine list and great handcrafted cocktails for decades. Whether dining with friends, clients, or that special someone, Le Voltaire will make you feel right at home.
Zone Deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com. This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson.
It sucks, but it's true.
Of 1620 The Zone.
He wasn't scheduled to play that role either. He was only on the film as a technical advisor.
I remember that.
Arlie Ermy, who played the drill sergeant, gunnery sergeant Hartman in Full Metal Jacket, which I believe Nick will pick for our next movie club. It sounds.
Is it streaming, Nick?
It is Netflix, I think.
Nice.
He was supposed to be the
HBO.
technical, what do they call it? Technical assistant,
showrunner.
No, he's not a showrunner, but he was the technical advisor, and the guy they got to play the gunnery sergeant he just wasn't hitting the part.
Mm-hmm.
And so Arlie Ermy started to show him how to do it. And then they realized this dude should be doing it. And so, yes, basically most of the basic training stuff, he ad-libbed or he wrote because, hey, this is how it would have been done. And it is.
And then we went
amazing.
on to voice Sarge in Toy Story, which is hilarious.
I basically started his acting career.
Uh-huh.
Basically started his acting career. The late Arlie Ermy, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
So back to the Big Ten schedule that was announced today. If you missed it, Nebraska is opening on the road at Minnesota on Thursday of Labor Day weekend up in Minneapolis, then at Colorado, then 3 straight home games, including Michigan in week 5, Illinois on the road, then a bye right in the middle of the season, perfectly placed. Then back-to-back home games, Northwestern and Purdue, on the road at Michigan State, home for Maryland, on the road for Wisconsin, home Black Friday against Iowa. Now, looking at the crossover, so the Nebraska crossovers are Michigan, Michigan State, and Maryland.
So a really good team, a team that has had a major step back in the Michigan State Spartans. And then a team in Maryland, I mean, they're a good football team right now. They're going to go bowling. But you know, they are what they are. They're sitting right now 4th in the East. They're 6-2, so they're already locked up a bowl bid. Michigan State is kind of the wild card. Like, how good will they be? How bad will they be? Michigan will be good again.
So the other Western contenders, their crossovers, Illinois has, I can't believe we're actually mentioning Illinois, but we are. Penn State at home in week 3. And by the way, did you notice Illinois plays at Kansas next year?
Oh, that's fun. It's a random game.
So they have Penn State at home, they have Maryland on the road, and Indiana at home. Iowa's crossovers are Penn State on the road, Michigan State at home, and Rutgers at home.
Okay.
Minnesota's are Michigan at home, Michigan State at home, and at Ohio State.
See, that's brutal.
So they get both Michigan and Ohio State.
And then maybe a rebounding Michigan State team.
Yes. Who cares about Northwestern?
Yeah.
Purdue gets Ohio State at home, Indiana at home, because that's their natural rival, and Michigan on the road. So they get a couple of tough ones.
They get both of them, yeah.
And Wisconsin's are Rutgers at home, Ohio State at home, and Indiana on the road. So when you look at the cross, I mean, again, Nebraska's are manageable.
Hey, you'd rather have what they have compared to what Minnesota has.
Yes.
And I would say compared to what Purdue has.
Yes.
I'd say Minnesota has the worst, though, because they have the top 2 teams and then a team in Michigan State that could probably rebound.
So again, find me where Nebraska gets screwed in this. Maybe we're addressing a very small percentage of the fan base, but folks, come on. Looking over at the East. Look, it's Devil Jim Delaney. He's back.
My gosh.
The East.
Gosh, I always forget about his eyebrows.
So Michigan.
That actually threw me off.
If I'm a Michigan fan.
Oh, how pissed are you about your non-conference schedule?
Basically, outside of the Michigan or the Michigan-Ohio State game, your season ticket package is going to look next year because you get East Carolina, UNLV, Bowling Green, Rutgers, Indiana, Purdue, and then Ohio State.
And how about this? I mentioned the silver lining in Nebraska's schedule is after the first 2 weeks, 7 out of the final 10 games are at home. Michigan is basically the opposite. Their first 4 games are at home. After that, they are only at home 3 times, and they'll play on the road 5 times. So 3 home games and 5 road games in their last 8 of the season.
Ohio State opens at Indiana.
My guess is this will be moved. I think this is going to be the Labor Day game.
I agree.
That's the Labor Day night game. That or Penn State, West Virginia. One of those two.
They are at Notre Dame.
Oh, holy crap. In week 4, that'll be fun.
But they're going to have a pretty decent home schedule down the stretch outside of traveling to Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah, they got Michigan State, Minnesota, Penn State.
I mean, they have the West Virginia game. That's the only the non-conference.
It's pretty weak.
Just like this year, the non-conference.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
This year in the Big Ten was bad, and this year it's the same. I mean, you get Michigan State, Washington. You get Rutgers, Virginia Tech.
And Nebraska.
You mentioned
Colorado.
Nebraska, Colorado, Ohio State, Notre Dame, and that's about it. Maryland, Virginia. It's not good. It's not good.
It's not good.
This is not good.
So the other mysteries will be what will be the other weeknight game on Labor Day weekend and what will be the other Black Friday game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it won't be Ohio State, Michigan. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Michigan State, Penn State.
That's a good one. I was going to say go over to the West. Minnesota, Wisconsin. I think the one that you picked is the best. I think Michigan State, Penn State could be solid.
Honestly, that's the only other one.
Yeah, not Northwestern Illinois.
I mean, they're going to announce that before the season starts, so it's not like you're going to flex a game in there. So you're going to want at least a couple of name brands, and that's probably what you're going to get.
Michael says, I think many Husker fans are bent out of shape because Nebraska doesn't get to open their 2023 schedule at home again, but Ohio State doesn't even open at home next year, and explain to me why a perpetually losing team should open at home anyway. See, it's random, though. I mean, part of it is next year, their non-conference game, the agreement that they had with Colorado means it's a road game. But the following year, I'm pretty sure in 2024, Nebraska will open up with a home game. So, it's an oddity, But it's not.
And remember,
it doesn't mean the conference is against you.
Well, but also remember, you chose twice to play in week 0 on the road.
That was the athletic director.
Nebraska chose to do that.
Now,
they
the
could have
first
vetoed
one-
that. They could have said, no, we're not interested, but they took it.
Yeah, and the first one was a true road game because of COVID.
And they moved it back from
By the way,
Ireland.
2024, they're opening up at home versus UTEP. So there you go. It's an oddity thing. But it doesn't look, you got the teams you want from the East.
Yeah, you got them. You're fine.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. It's all fine. Yeah. And then after this, we can say, rest in peace, Big Ten East, Big Ten West. Now it'll just be one big
blob.
One big blob, and you're only going to...
The Big 14.
And you're basically going to play
the
half
Big 16.
the other schools.
Oh, I forgot about
USC and UCLA. And then maybe Oregon. And Washington.
I forgot about the soft West Coast football school.
Speaking of libs.
You'll have 9-0 Ohio State playing whoever wins a 3-way tiebreaker at 6-3.
See, that sounds fun, though, doesn't it? That sounds hilarious.
Oh, yeah. No, it does. It sounds hilariously
Some
bad.
Benny Hill football.
It sounds hilariously bad. Coming up, we have some content, including, did technology screw the Patriots? Monday night. We have video.
And we have a statement from the technological company that owns the video.
Coming up on 1620 The Zone. Well, while you're not blowing leaves into the street because the weather's getting colder and you're getting ready to turn that furnace on, please have that furnace inspected, especially gas furnace owners. Very important, not only to keep the cost of maintenance down, but to keep your home safe. Because gas furnace owners, carbon monoxide is an issue if you don't have a properly maintained gas furnace. So have it inspected, and it happens twice a year when you join the Comfort Club at McCarthy's 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. The Comfort Club will come out twice a year, inspect both your furnace and your AC, not only to make sure everything's working, but to make sure it's working safely, and you get discounts on repairs, you get priority service when it's necessary, and you pay a low monthly fee that will never change for the lifetime of your membership. And at McCarthy's, they're always on time or you don't pay a dime because they value your time. So trust in the technicians at McCarthy's 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning and keep your home safe and warm this winter with McCarthy's 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. McCarthy's1hour.com.
Remember, no matter how you listen, it's still AM radio. 1620 The Zone.
Hi, this is Kathy Kenoyer. 'Tis the season at Glass House Market with Kenoyer Garden Center. We'd like to invite you to come shop our stunning holiday market where you'll find a perfect gift for that special someone or the Christmas decor you've been wanting. Join our family for the open house November 5th and 6th to help us celebrate the holiday season. Glass House Market located within Kenoyer Garden Center on 66th Street between Cornhusker and Highway 370 in Papillion.
At Kenoyer Garden Center, everybody's got a green thumb.
It's Halloween at Genesis Health Clubs. Join with no enrollment fee, no contract, and save 20% per month every month. Hurry, just 5 days left. It may be the spookiest time of the year, but starting a new fitness routine doesn't have to be scary. Genesis Health Clubs has top-of-the-line equipment and the absolute best personal trainers, tennis professionals, and group fitness instructors to help keep you motivated and headed towards your fitness goals. Plus, relax in luxury afterwards with saunas, steam rooms, and fluffy towel service. Whatever your fitness needs, Genesis is here to help every step of the way, and there's nothing scary about that. This Halloween, join Genesis Health Club with no enrollment fee, no contract, and save 20% per month every single month. But hurry, this offer will end before you have a chance to count your Halloween candy. It ends on Halloween and won't extend. Just 5 days left. Go to GenesisHealthClubs.com before Halloween and get no enrollment fee, no contract, and save 20% per month every month. 5 days left. This offer will not extend.
Howdy, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. Attention hunters and anglers, there's some fun challenges happening with regard to hunting and fishing here in Nebraska. Be sure to check out the Duck Slam, the Upland Slam, the Trout Slam, and take 'em hunting. Get more information on these at outdoornebraska.org, and we hope to see you out there. I'm Greg Wagner.
This is Scott Schultz from Host Coffee. 2022 marks our 50th year and business has never been better. We continue to grow and add new customers. Many employers are looking for new ideas for their staff as people return to the office. Our pantry service is a great office amenity for staff and guests. Fresh food, snacks, coffee, water, and other beverages for employees and guests. Enhance your office experience with pantry service from Host Coffee. Learn more at hostcoffee.net. The big box stores have a secret. When you walk out the door with a new purchase, that's where the service ends. At Ty's Outdoor Power and Service, you get great deals on brands like Hustler, Toro, Honda, and Steel. Plus, you get a dedicated experienced service center. With annual maintenance and repairs, your equipment will last longer and perform when you need it most. See us in Lincoln, Omaha, or Gretna and get 10% off your residential service. Visit TysOutdoorPower.com, promo code radio, or mention radio to redeem.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
Look, I made you some
Unsportsmanlike
content.
Unsportsmanlike content.
Unsportsmanlike content. Content that's unsportsmanlike. Zachary points out that Penn State opens their Big Ten schedule on the road for the 14th to 15 seasons. Big Ten hates Penn State.
Man, it's always those newcomers that just
It
get
really
right in
is.
the butt. Just get it right in the butt.
Man, imagine what would happen if Chicago came back into the Big Ten. They'd have home games forever. Chicago?
University of Chicago. That's
Mhm.
right.
Anyway,
wow. Jay Burwanger, first ever Heisman Trophy winner.
That's right. People
Chicago.
forget that.
have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
Oh.
Apparently, the 2023 Big Ten schedule will release today. We have any leftover takes after the last two segments?
No.
I guess it's just a question. What games will be on what nights that are not traditional days? That's the only thing I wonder about. And what will be the first CBS Big Ten game?
I don't know. I don't know.
What's the ultimate fallout in the case of Mickey Joseph versus the NCAA?
Apology? A statement? They're not gonna.
Yeah,
gonna
it's
lose
not
any-
gonna. It's not gonna be.
They're not gonna lose the scholarship.
Maybe someone will
Fine?
get taken off the road for a week.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's not going to be much.
Yeah, we apologize.
I mean, they reported it right away.
And then they'll decide.
Mickey knew what he was doing. I mean, he knew he had made a mistake. It was plainly obvious by the sideways glance that he gave, which is just a great picture, by the way. No, they're going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. Actually, you know what's going to happen? They're going to be forced to open on the road for the next 10 years. That's what's going to.
Damn. Tough look.
Your Creighton Blue Jays and still your Creighton Blue Jays are taking all of the Kanye out of their playlist at athletic events to ensure respectful campus environment. John,
here we go.
I know for a fact that there's at least one you hear all the time. Can you name one Kanye song?
Well, I can't because I don't know what they're called.
Living in the 21st century, doing something
Now, are
mean
all
to
of
it.
the Kanye songs ones that he performs, or is he like a producer on some of them, but he just gets the credit?
He writes
ones
it. He writes it. He sings, writes, and produces. That's
Okay.
why he was such.
I didn't know if he was like a Quincy Jones type who also,
He started out
produced.
as a producer and then he started doing his own thing. Then
He produced
Turned out he
Hova.
was
You know who Hova is?
No.
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
Oh,
They call him Hova.
That's the
Why do
frustrating
they call
part.
him Hova?
Mhm.
Is this like a showrunner term or something?
I don't know. He probably gave that nickname to himself.
I don't know.
So I wonder what's going to be the new starting lineup intro music, because that's the music
I
they
saw
use.
Probably Walk on Water by Three Doors Down, right?
Nice. I saw some dorky tweet from this Creighton fan that was like, I'm going to come to game wearing my Apple AirPods listening to that song and you can't stop me.
Kanye stans are the worst.
So weird.
That's the most frustrating part because Kanye genuinely has great music that he's put out, but he's such a bad person.
Yeah.
They need to use the Blues Brothers version of Peter Gunn theme. That should be the intro music.
What about the Rawhide?
Boom, 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 boom,
Bum,
boom.
bum. Wow.
My saxophone is better than your saxophone.
Mac Jones' last pass Monday night was an interception. Yeah, it was. He then got benched, never to return. But upon further review, is it possible Jones's pass was deflected by ESPN Skycam wire?
All right, so we're going to show you, if you're watching along, this is from the actual replay, so you can get a perspective of what happens, on the interception. So there's the interception. Brisker goes up, makes the pick, and that's it. Now, watch. This video is going to go back and forth. It's going to go back and to the left, and it looks like it nudges the wire, which may have altered its flight. I have a super close-up angle, which makes it very obvious that the ball definitely hits the wire. Watch. You notice how it deflects downward.
So you're not going to be like the ESPN statement. They said the pass from Mac Jones did not hit the ESPN Skycam wiring. A video circulated created the false impression, but in reality, the Skycam wire was more than 15 feet above the ball.
Downward.
John,
it
honestly,
hit the wire.
I think it's a pretty easy explanation. It's just frame rates of television are not there's not enough frame rates to show it being super duper smooth. And so there's going to be the little drop-offs.
No,
we need 8K.
Watch this. Watch this.
John,
close-up
I
again.
watched it. I don't think that it hit it.
Yes, it
it drops down. That's not a frame rate
I
issue.
think it could absolutely be a frame
That is
rate.
not a frame rate
Might
issue.
be an angle thing.
Yeah, I think
It's the wire.
But it's a frame. I think that is
That is not a frame
It's
rate
such
issue.
John. I think if it hit it, it wouldn't keep spinning in the.
No.
So you don't believe ESPN?
No.
Okay. I mean,
Of course they're covering their ass.
I don't care.
Yeah, it clearly nudges the. I mean, it doesn't like hit it square, but it nudges it enough. Absolutely. ESPN is lying to you. When has ESPN ever not told you the truth?
They've never told a lie, not once.
Ever?
They report.
All right.
Sam says that. Oh, never mind. That's something else. Nick, keep going.
The Tennessee Titans released renderings of their new dome stadium yesterday. What do you think?
You know what I think? It looks like every damn stadium looks like now.
looks
There's
like a
no
dome.
personality.
The
looks like
Super
a
Bowl.
dome.
Okay, so the Cowboys, they have the huge screen. The Rams and the Chargers, they have. It kind of looks like a basketball arena, and
The Oculus.
That's what the Mercedes-Benz looks like.
I like the
every
Viking
stadium, though. Now, now that's a stadium, Nick, with personality.
What?
The Viking Stadium.
The Viking Stadium. It has personality. Every other stadium looks the same. This stadium looks like Dallas's, looks like Los Angeles's. I don't like it.
Yeah,
But this is, we had the cookie cutter stadiums of the 70s where Philadelphia looked the same as
St.
Louis, looked the same as Pittsburgh. And there was one stadium that was like, we're not going to be the same. And that was Kansas City's. And it still holds up. Very cool architecture. These stadiums are all going to be so boring because they're all going to look the same.
Boring, expensive, and we're only doing it so we can host indoor events like
Bingo.
the Final Four and WrestleMania. And the Super Bowl.
And concerts, John.
And concerts, but not Kanye.
But not Kanye.
Not Kanye. For the first time since 1977, the Big Ten doesn't have a top 10 team in the preseason AP college basketball poll.
Really?
Could this finally be the year the league isn't weighed down by expectations and wins a national title in hoops?
Hell no. You know why, John? Because they had great setups in each of the last two NCAA tournaments.
Well, yeah, they get the favorable seedings. They had many teams in.
God, remember all of the high seeds that they had in each of the last 2 years? And let's see. I'm trying to find the stat that I had earlier where they had how many? I think it was 8 number 1 and number 2 seeds, and like nobody even made it to the Final Four. Horrible. Yeah, 8 top 4 seeds in the last 2 seasons. They had 2 number 1s, 2 number 2s. And of course, they did not win a championship. So no, it ain't happening this year.
Yeah.
Dribble, pass, shoot. Basketball
Nice.
is fun.
Nice job, Nick.
And first of all, it's the AP poll, which is not, it's not binding in anything. It's just a gauge of where popular opinion is right now. But no, just because there's not a top 10 team in the AP poll doesn't mean the Big Ten is either feeling less pressure or not. And I don't think Purdue or Michigan State or anyone else is out there, losing any sleep over, oh my God, the Big Ten hasn't won a championship. It's because either they haven't won a championship or gotten to a Final Four.
Yeah,
They're worried about their own.
They don't like getting made fun of, though. I'm talking about the fans. I don't care about the teams. The fans, though.
Oh, but I thought Big Ten fans don't conference cheer.
Yeah, they don't like it when you make fun of them.
They
don't like it when you make fun. Jack doesn't care, but the hardcore basketball fans, they don't like it.
Well, I guess don't be so bad in the tournament.
The NASCAR Euro Series will hold an exhibition race on ice next year. Can you put skates on cars?
This is awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Racing on ice. It's really no different than racing on dirt.
Aren't they going to crash a lot?
You just drift. It's just a lot of drifting.
Yeah.
It seems dangerous.
Well, driving on ice is dangerous.
You're not going to be able to go super fast, but it's
how fast are they going to go? Like 30 miles an hour?
Well, if they're drift, it's about the throttle. It's about goosing the throttle, Josh.
Yeah, it's like racing on dirt.
You got to turn right to turn left.
Sounds cool.
It is cool, Josh.
I hope it's great.
Stuff like this takes skill.
I like
it.
ice.
Of course it does, Nick. I'm not saying it doesn't take skill.
No, I know.
I don't want to watch it, though.
I probably won't watch it either.
Well, it's the Euro Series. I don't know if you can watch the Euro Series on an ESPN or Fox.
There's only one European racing.
Still AM radio, though.
I care about. Frankie Muniz, a.k.a. Agent Cody Banks, a.k.a.
Good
Malcolm
Lord.
Wilkerson, says Bryan Cranston is putting together a Malcolm in the Middle revival. Are you stoked?
Depends on like what it is exactly that they're doing and how many of the original cast returns. I liked the show, especially in its early iteration.
He'd have to be president by now, wouldn't he? Because
was that the bit that he was president?
Like at the very last episode.
That's the thing. I stopped watching it
okay.
with the last like 2 seasons, so I never saw the ending. But I loved like the early run was hilarious, and Bryan Cranston is one of our treasures.
I hope it's just a one-off. I hope it's not a new series.
My guess it'll probably be like one season.
As long as it's short. It's nice to kind of revisit those places, but we don't need to reinvent the wheel because there's enough of that going on in pop culture.
I'm just not sure how they're going to do it because the season ended, Malcolm got to college, but he has to be a janitor. Then he's supposed to work up from being a janitor to eventually being
So he actually knows all the plots.
Yeah.
No, they can write themselves out of that. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe, who knows? Maybe they
Is
could
he
write
the president that forgave my student loan debt?
Or maybe he was spotted at January 6th and
that would be a hilarious
prison.
twist.
Oh no.
Malcolm in the middle. Malcolm in the middle of prison.
The weird thing is
okay, so what if Hal, Bryan Cranston's character, was at January 6th?
But by accident, right? Like
yes,
total accident.
so he's in jail.
That's a Hal thing.
I don't know why. The thing I always think of when I think of Malcolm in the Middle was when Hal got into speed walking.
I love that.
I don't know
so
why. That's
much.
always the episode that I think
He
of.
had that outfit. Is it because did you want it
With the helmet?
Did you want the helmet and then the
Definitely not, Nick.
bodysuit?
I definitely did not want that.
But it had flames on it, so you could walk faster.
It did. Many are arguing about the wire, by the way. Scary Gary says
Good
it
show.
didn't hit the wire. John needs LASIK. Somebody said that I need to go back to Kugler Vision.
How do you not see this?
Nick, John, we see it.
It doesn't have to change rotation necessarily.
I hope that because
I mean, this is
there
going
has to be an alternate angle.
This is going to be the best angle you have because
No,
you're
I'm talking about
literally right on the ball.
No, but if there's a fan angle and you can tell that the wire is like way over here, then I think it's going to be pretty definitive.
Surely there's something on the Patriots subreddit.
No, it didn't hit the wire. I'm sure.
Bears don't give a crap. They won the damn game anyway.
Yeah,
Probably
I know.
would have won the game without this interception.
You know how
Just you can't convince me that is a frame rate because the
That's
ball
fine.
would not come down like that.
But that's
from its
literally what would
axis.
happen if John, if they dropped a frame rate, that's literally what would happen. Is it? That's what that's what I'm talking about. A frame rate issue would literally do that.
No, it's but
John, if I take out a frame rate, if I
be-
take it out, it would look. But I splice them together, it would literally look.
It wouldn't jump in time and drop like that.
It
especially-
would.
No, it wouldn't. Not
John,
as sudden as it drops there because the ball is on a smooth arc downward.
It's 30 frames per second. That's what television is.
I understand that's what television is.
So if you have 29 of them,
but Josh, it's not going to drop like that.
I think it would.
No, it would not.
30.
I'm sorry, you're not going to convince
That's
me.
fine. I hope that we find a video and one of us is right and one of us is wrong. I just think I think that's exactly what it was.
It's impossible based on how it looks. It's virtually impossible.
I'm just surprised you're not hearing the argument of a
No,
literal
I hear the argument, but logically it does not make sense based on how the ball travels. A frame rate is not going to do that. It's not going to do that.
I bet if I found a football play, now I don't have video editing equipment, and I were to take out a frame, it would literally look like that of any play in football history.
So are you alleging that ESPN, whoever shot this took a frame out?
No, I'm saying that's what happens with TV. These cameras are not fast enough to do what you're asking them to do.
The cameras ESPN uses are faster than what traditional television used to be.
You know, like in golf, they'll show those highlights and it's like 40,000 frames. This isn't that. This camera is not a 40,000 frame rate camera.
It's not 4K.
Yeah, it's probably 60. It's either 30 or 60. My guess is it would be 60.
Well, then that wouldn't be a 30 frame rate camera.
It'd be a 60 frame rate. I'm just saying that's my guess.
That definitely would not show that kind of a drop.
I think we do need another angle
We need another angle.
There has to be another.
If there's an angle just slightly this way, you'd either see the wire to
It
the
would,
right
it would have
or
to
it
be.
would be
It would
on
have to
top
come
of it.
from a professional camera, not someone shooting from their iPhone, especially from that distance.
Well, it depends on where they are. If they had lower
all you
level
need is
seats-
to be able to see the wire and see the ball.
Correct. Yeah, you don't. That's why you don't need a super great camera. You just need to see it a little bit further to the right.
The Kim Foundation has worked to increase awareness around mental health and suicide prevention in Nebraska. The Kim Foundation's A Time for Hope and Healing features this year's guest speaker, Jay Glazer of Fox NFL Sunday. You can see the event at the Embassy Suites in La Vista, Wednesday, November the 9th from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then listen for Gary's chance to invite you to win tickets for you and a guest and sit at a reserved table with Gary for the event. Find out more details at thekimfoundation.org.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
With some big-time events coming up, including the Luke Combs concert at the CHI Health Center right here in Omaha, October 28th and 29th. Be sure to check out my friends at ticketsforless.com. It's not all about sports. It's about shows, and it's also about finding the best tickets at ticketsforless.com. So whether you want to see the pageantry of Memorial Stadium on a Saturday, catch a game at Arrowhead Stadium, Tickets for Less is your source for the best tickets, also without those crazy per-ticket fees you'll pay on other sites. Trust me, you'll keep going back to ticketsforless.com. Compare and save the day at ticketsforless.com.
Your neighborhood is more than blocks of buildings. It's the people who live there that make it special. At Union Bank and Trust, we're not just creating home loans, we're making neighbors. We're not just small business lenders, we're small business shoppers. We don't just live in your community, we help you build it. Because our people are your people. Visit ubt.com/neighbor to learn more. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
If COVID taught us anything, it's that local matters. Local shops, local restaurants, even locally brewed beers. October is Drink Local Month. So the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild is challenging beer, seltzer, and cider drinkers like you to put your palate through its paces and drink local brews. Because seriously, Nebraska is really on the cutting edge when it comes to brewers who think outside the box. And besides, you really want to be drinking what they drink over in Iowa? Didn't think so. Click drinklocalnebraska.com.
We are well underway with the NFL season, and now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now, new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's free bets back if your first bet doesn't win. It's that easy. Just sign up with promo code HAPPER. There's so many different options for you guys when you look at the FanDuel sportsbook. You can go inside the game. You can take the money line and the spread, or take the individual player props. We like some of the season-long ones that we've been talking to you about. Endless options over at the FanDuel Sportsbook, all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. So sign up today with promo code HAPPER for your no-sweat first bet. That's promo code HAPPER, HAPPER. Make every moment more this season with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF. The Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Email me, Connor Happer, with the Connor Happer Show at Connor, CONNOR, at 1620thezone.com. Send me your love, your hate, and maybe a few hot takes. The Zone Inbox, presented by Equitable Bank.
It's Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Thick with 2 C's. On 1620 The Zone.
And you know why I'm laughing, don't you? Now, it's time for the Unsportsmanlike Conduct Bet of the Day.
Just a little bit under where some folks would like to see this one wind up.
Brought to you by nobody.
You gotta be kidding.
Really, we don't have a sponsor. Sorry.
All right, yesterday, John was a winner, Nick was a loser, and I pulled a Nick and picked a basketball game that's being played tonight.
Nick?
No, I didn't pull him. I pulled a
Hello.
So I'll just go with the game that I was going to pick yesterday. That's Bucks -4 over the Nets. That was a me mistake. I apologize.
Mistake, if you will. Yeah.
I don't know if I want to come off hockey or not. Hockey's been good to me. Hockey's been Betty good to me. Nick, if you have one, go ahead. I'm gonna switch pages. I thought about NBA, going back to hockey.
Give me the Pistons again. Plus 250.
Okay.
That's it.
Wow.
You know what I feel like?
I'm depressed.
Okay.
In honor
of frame rates
of our dear departed friend, Quack.
Oh!
Quack. Quack. Quack.
Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack.
Ducks plus 128 on the money line at home against the Lightning.
That's a noise.
Iowa.
Let's go Ducks.
Hey, that's my line.
Let's go Ducks.
Bet of the day.
Iowa. You're not even from there.
I lived there, though, when I was a baby.
In Iowa?
Just for like a couple years.
I was born and raised, Josh, 18 years of my life.
Oh, we can tell. We were talking about Big Ten scheduling today. Kevin,
we were?
Kevin tweets in, when is Nebraska finally going to get a bone thrown to them and have an opportunity to start out 3-0 with a schedule that starts with a weaker team like Northwestern, a D2 school, and a Sunbelt school? Does come across pretty bad. There's been a few tweets.
All we have to do is kick it on side, and I think it'll
that
be
have been
fine.
sent my way today. It's basically like, look, if you're whining about how tough the schedule is, that just means your team's not very good.
Yep.
This is not good.
Dave Aranda moves on in Not Frost versus the World. 71% of the vote.
Most of these have been blowouts.
They have.
Which means that he will advance to face off against Luke Fickle in the Power 5 Guys Regional Championship. Tomorrow, we got the best name matchup ever. Lane Kiffin versus Coach Prime.
Coach Prime. Now that is a frame rate battle if I've ever seen one. More tweets about frame rate. This is great. We found a new thing. We need to work this into the Dumb Debates theme song.
Just frame rates.
Mm-hmm.
Kennedy wasn't really shot. It was a frame rate issue. And the motorcycle cop did
The
it.
Zapruder film was low frame.
And the motorcycle cop was
That's
a
true.
fullback, but not a
Famously.
running back.
And it was actually missing frames.
And the night before, he had a hamburger
when we
steak, which
saw
was
it.
totally not hamburger.
Bye.
Got in all the arguments.
Mm-hmm.